Good thing I checked.
No shit.
I hit the button.
Damn it! They're doing some sort of bird impersonation. Bill Williams is not flattering.
No, I've never.
I mean, she's not bad looking with like long hair, but like this is like she's got like a boy cut in this, like, and she's got hair like Jason, and it's just not a good look for her.
It's not a good look for Jason either, but
Yeah, but I mean, she can help it. Like,
can she though? Could she?
yeah, by growing her fucking hair back out.
There's something about that chick I just do not like. Maybe it's because she broke Ryan Gosling's heart.
In what?
Blue Valentine?
Oh, never seen it.
Don't. And by saying don't, I mean it's.
I mean, is it any worse than The Notebook, where Ryan Gosling basically looks at Rachel McAdams like all the time, just looking angry at her?
Basically
What do you want?
Tell me what you want. Have you seen the sound guy Kevin James?
Yeah.
It's like I'm just trying to get a sound check. I'm just if you stop yelling at me, I'm just
My favorite is when he's sitting next to Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood.
There will be blood, yeah.
He's just trying to eat lunch.
Welcome back, my Banter Bro worker bees. I am y'all Queen Bee of tonight's episode, Timothy Queen Bee Bennett. And with me tonight is my soldier bee, Jason Chandler.
Woo woo!
And my definitely worker bee down at the bottom of the barrel. Aram Benyon.
Here I sit.
It's just because you work a lot during our podcast.
It's true. My choice, goddamn.
So, well, that's big different that one, but that's for a different discussion. So, tonight we're gonna do things a little backwards. So we're gonna start doing the musical theme. So this is the second week of our musical films, and
let's thank you, Jason, again for picking this game.
Hell yeah, I'm on a roll.
Hey, it wasn't that hard for you to find these ones, was it?
I mean,
It's better than natural disasters.
Let's see how far we get into the month, because this is only week 2, and I'm running close.
Hey, we got one more week. All you need is 3 more. I'm sure you can trudge
Really?
them up somewhere. Yeah, because after that we got something else. So, yeah, and then we're gonna dive into the Civil War. So
Captain America.
Captain America. Yes, that
People
I gotta
forget
be
that
precise.
this is a Captain
It's a
America movie.
This is the third standalone. I put that in quotes because bullshit, he ain't alone.
It's not alone, but it's really his story.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Captain America Civil War, which is the first film in Phase 3. Yes, that is correct. We are in Phase 3, and it feels like a fucking bazillion years ago already. There's just so much. And this phase has fucking 9 films. Films, not the shorts, just films. So this is 9 films that we're going to have to bust through. That's a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be like a 2-month period. So, well, I'm down.
All right.
Do it somehow.
Let's
So-
get started.
Musicals, a whimsical love.
What's motto tune on there? Still sound like shit.
Worked for T-Pain.
Hey, yeah, that motherfucker can sing though.
Yeah, he won the voice.
The first season of the Masked Singer.
The voice of what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be on that unless he's a judge.
He does like a podcast.
Yeah,
Funny. He's kind of a funny guy.
That's what I was gonna say. He's actually a very humorous.
He's funny in Ant-Man.
That's T.I.
Damn it.
T.I. Wow.
Tease.
Wow. All right.
I just woke up. I'll stop. I'm going to continue waking up.
Aram.
God damn it.
Start us off.
T.I. That's like a...
T.I.
Something you put in your
T-Pain,
vagina.
T.I. T-Pain's been around way longer than
No, that's
fucking
a
T.I.
UTI.
UTI.
That's a UTI. My God. Wow. That's something that women get very often in
Yeah,
common.
UTI. Or are you thinking of an IUD?
Which is not even close. That's a bomb.
No,
No, that's an IUD. We're all sorts of kind of fucked
Hell
up.
yeah. I threw this shit off the rails.
Enough with the fucking lettering.
Oh no!
Musical moment.
Son of a
Aram.
bitch. Oh god.
Whimsical us away.
So first.
Welcome.
Oh my God. You broke them. Quick, pull a string again.
Hold on. Okay.
He's a pull toy.
So my first film is 2017's The Greatest Showman.
Dope.
I will, as I've said often, I'm not a musical guy, but this one wasn't that bad. I watched it a couple times because of my kids, stuff like that. Songs are catchy.
I say, what did you like about it?
The
Like,
songs
what
are
was
ca-
it
I
that
think,
got you to like
I think
it?
Hugh Jackman's really, really good in it.
Okay, that's that one. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not. Zac Efron's fine in it.
Yeah, he was all right.
But I think Hugh Jackman really just holds the movie together himself.
It's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. And the songs, like I say, are good. I'm not like older musicals didn't catch me as much. These like the songs were
But this
pretty
was
good.
basically pop music.
Yeah.
And I think
And that's probably part of it.
I think that's what, because I actually have these. I have the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I've listened to a couple of the songs on
The
my
Greatest
own.
Showman soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
that first song, great. I'll fucking listen to
The
that.
last song in the movie too was actually pretty dope. But I mean, I'm a sucker for.
I'm not gonna lie,
That's
Zendaya and Zac Efron's like the stars in your eyes or whatever song. I like that one too.
Yeah, that one's catchy.
It's
Yeah,
decent.
for sure.
It's a good moment in the film too.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, so that one is, it's a good one. I mean, fucking everybody loves it.
How'd you like the story?
I think the story's interesting. The fact that they picked, P.T. Barnum as, somebody to do a musical about it, I think is interesting.
Now, the only thing I'm curious about, because I don't know much about the true story behind it.
I don't think he's nearly as whimsical as they make him seem. I think he was kind of an asshole.
Well, I got that feeling too, but hey, you can still be whimsical and an asshole.
Yeah. Well, I think he was like a big piece of shit.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
completely
and that's
honest.
kind of what I got. That's why I was curious, but I don't know much about the history. About,
I don't.
the
I don't either.
circus
But
and
there's
all that
definitely
shit.
some dark shit surrounding Barnum. Like even when he teamed, I think eventually when he teamed up with Bailey and made the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Some-
shit that
some
like
Shit that went down. Some questionable
went down
stuff.
or just questionable shit like
Unhumane.
That yeah.
I
'Cause
feel like
a lot
I-
of animals.
yeah,
And
and I
shit
feel
were
like
treated
I feel like
poorly.
I feel like this is what I know of, is what you're saying. I feel like that's what I heard too.
And I've
But I
never
don't
done the
know enough.
research. Yeah, I've never done the research, so don't quote me on any of that.
No,
but I
this is-
believe that's what I
I
heard.
think this is stuff that I learned like when I was a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you learn about animal cruelty and the circus and all that. Because I used to love the circus.
Oh,
Like my mom
what
would
kid
take me to the
doesn't
circus.
like enjoy the circus
Like-
between clowns and all the animals
fuck the
doing
clowns,
tricks and shit.
but-
Well, to somebody who's not afraid of clowns,
I'm not afraid of clowns. I just don't like them. There's nothing to be smiling about when there's plenty of crying to do.
tears of a clown.
Womp, womp, womp.
All right,
yeah.
Greatest Showman. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it wasn't bad. Have you seen
No.
it? No. Give it a shot.
yeah,
It's
give it a
decent.
shot.
I mean, it's
Let's-
definitely a musical. It's
Yeah.
definitely like today's kind of poppy musical, but
Mhm.
not that bad. Not that bad.
So my next one is 1980s. Hold on, 1986's.
Sixes.
Yeah, 86.
That's plural, people.
No, that's showing ownership. 1986's Labyrinth.
Labyrinth, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a fucking classic, really.
I'm pretty sure you've used the Labyrinth already too. So you're
Probably.
pulling a Jason? No.
Hell yeah.
I do not accept your judgment. Um,
That's fine. Yeah, I
But
think
yeah.
you said nostalgic. I think it was the nostalgic episode you used. The
oh
Labyrinth.
no, Legend was from Nostalgic.
Oh,
I
maybe
did
we
Legend.
just talked
Legend
about
and Lab. Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
probably
may have
mentioned
talked
them.
about
By,
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter.
right.
It's inevitable,
Oh, there's gonna be crossovers for
right?
sure.
Inevitable.
The fucking movie is just a classic between Jim
Jason's
Henson.
was not excusable because that was only 4 episodes ago.
You
Yeah.
guys allowed it. Let's moving on.
All right.
Somebody's grumpy when they first wake up.
Right.
Yes.
He rolled off the wrong side of his recliner.
But
I should
David
get a
Bowie.
recliner.
Sorry, Aaron.
David Bowie just clocks in like a classic performance. Like He just David Bowie's
I
the
was
shit
gonna
out
say
of the movie.
he's just David Bowie. Like honestly, with the get up and everything.
I was like, they're not
David
like
Bowie.
roaming out of any of his fucking wheelhouse. Between that and just like
The cod piece is the only thing I could not get. Why does fuck does he need a cod piece in a puppet show?
why doesn't he?
Because he shouldn't have to. It's David Bowie.
I mean, maybe he wanted to impress Jennifer Connelly. I don't know.
She was like 14.
It was the 80s. It was a
He's
different
stealing a
time.
baby, right?
Yeah.
There's no.
Way to chime in with that. Somehow that excused it.
No, everything with him and children is fucking
The
weird.
first time he's put me to fucking shut up.
But between that, I think Jim Henson does an amazing job of the puppetry.
Oh, yeah.
The Jim Henson Company. The songs are great for the time.
And it's
I just remember the knocker.
Oh yeah, the two knockers. The one that's got his like the ring in the mouth, one in the ear.
Not that kind of
Yeah.
knocker.
So one's deaf, one's mute.
Tommy.
Yeah. No.
Not Tommy knockers.
No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It was a Tommy Knocker. Terrible thing.
I was like, that's a Stephen King novel.
Mhm.
All right.
Continue here. Apparently, we're never going to get through this.
I was trying
Jesus
to
Christ, I'm just
imply
trying to-
on boobs,
Yeah.
and I wanted to say no.
No to boobs.
All right.
Tommy was my
Moving
word
on.
of choice.
Fuck. I
Jesus Christ.
don't even know where I was going with this. Fucking. All right. Well, we're just
Next
gonna move on to
movie?
the next movie, I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
I thought you were already there.
I thought I was trying to talk up Labyrinth for a second, but
Well,
fucking shit all
I
over
remember
my
being
fucking-
immersed into that world. It was.
I am not a huge fan, but I didn't. I
I don't
also
know if
didn't
I-
mind it. Like
I don't know if I could rewatch it.
and see, I just recently watched it maybe a year or two ago, and
Oh.
like it wasn't bad, but it's also been since I was probably in high school when I last saw it.
Yeah.
So like it was one of those things where like, oh yeah, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, there's a bit of nostalgia to it. Like the ending always kind of gets me, but like
Also,
whole movie-
I've been confused. Like, was she just like asleep? Was it an Alice in Wonderland thing? Like,
yeah, it's it's that oddly weird open-ended sort of thing because you don't know if she was dreaming, and then fucking the owls outside the window.
yeah. It was just the warrior, the warrior kangaroo people.
Just
The Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah,
Don't get me started on that.
80s.
Love that fucking movie. And whoever made that sequel, I want to kick in the dick. I'll put that out there right now.
Apparently, it's terrible.
Like,
Well, yeah, because they stopped being
footsie or karate.
No, they stopped being kangaroos. They made them humans and made it weird and fucking really subdued. There was barely any fucking kung fu.
Mm.
Sorry.
Let's be real. They
Anyway.
weren't doing real kung fu to begin with.
Hey, they were doing what kangaroos could do.
Kangaroo.
Is that the plural of kangaroo?
No, they were doing.
Where is it, the ownership?
kangaroo. Instead of kung fu, it was kangaroo.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! I think Tim's doing another intro.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'll write that one down.
So anyway, back on track here.
We have not been on track since we started. It's
Let's
been off.
try to get this thing
As soon
moving
as
along.
Jason walked in the room, it's been fucking derailed. It's
We're with 1990.
the beer.
Crybaby.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, Ricky Lake, Amy Locane, who I only really know Amy Locane from Airheads.
Oh,
That's the only thing I can really
She's
recall
the-
her from. She's the girlfriend of Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser's girlfriend or whatever.
But yeah, those three are probably the most notable actors. Oh no, Iggy Pop is in this movie. Okay, it's been a
Iggy
while
Pop.
since I've seen this. I'm going to admit that right now.
Iggy Pop. What a weird fucking dude.
Oh, and Tracy Lords is in it. Okay, well, there's more people in this movie than I remember.
When was this one?
This
89?
is 1990, so I mean, it's been 32
That's
years.
close. 89. I thought it was 89. So.
I mean, yeah, it's right around. It's Johnny Depp kind of rolling into his like movie star sort of. He'd done 21 Jump Street, and then he was moving into like movies at that point. I think.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
he had
this was.
done Nightmare on Elm Street by then.
Yep, 'cause that was his first film, but that was like 84.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Something
that
like
wasn't that big. No, I'm
Well, he
thinking
was-
of
it
I'm
was a-
thinking of Kevin Bacon in fucking Nightmare Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
who was just
Similar
like a bit part.
statuses.
Yeah.
Um,
Because Johnny Depp had the most iconic scene, which is still very iconic, where he
Yeah.
gets pulled through the bed. He was the TV boy.
Because of the special effects at the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still impressive.
Yeah, very,
yeah.
very innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crybaby. I just remember watching this movie on TV a few times. It's not. It's fine. I'm not a musical guy, so these are just movies I can remember watching.
This movie was.
Won't ever say I enjoyed it.
This movie was. I don't know. I can't say that I like it, but it's also not terrible.
Ricky
at the
Lake
same-
before she lost all the weight, like it was. I think probably around the same time she did another movie that's a musical that we won't mention in case someone wants to use it. Still chewing that beer, huh?
Hey, you put it down though.
Yeah, I was like, of the three of us,
Yeah, it's really
you finished
not-
last, I think. Or no, you finished second. I finished mine first. But anyway, yeah, I just remember it well enough to know that I watched it more than once, so like I can kind of remember it being okay.
I just had a hard time with the crybaby.
The
Crybaby being like, I don't know.
But I feel like that's part of why it's
He's like being
the way
emo.
it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
He's
it was
being
emo before emo was cool.
Yeah, it was emo before emo was emo.
Before emo had its.
He's being a
name.
greaser that was emotional.
Yeah, he was the emo greaser.
Yeah.
Is really what it was.
If you take Grease Lightning, whatever, fucking Grease.
Another musical that we won't mention anymore.
I don't think any of us like Grease.
No.
We never pointed out we had to like them.
Well,
I had to like something
Kinda,
about
dude.
them.
kind of.
Grease,
I
It'll
just
fuck
admitted I didn't
itself.
really like this movie, but like I remember watching it. I remember
Yeah.
watching Grease.
That's
I
fine.
could've fucking used
You're
it.
pulling out as much as you can grab at this point.
Yeah,
so
I'm
we can
grasping
let
at
it-
straws.
yeah, we can let it
So-
go.
me be.
So you're choosing Grease for next week, is what you're saying.
You'll
Gotcha.
never know.
Grease.
I don't know.
The sequel.
Depends on if you're gonna take another nap.
We'll never know.
Oh,
I didn't even know I took a nap till afterwards. I woke up
Oh,
so
man.
pissed.
Woke up. What
Oh,
day
man.
is it?
that explains because you were in a fucking great mood. It seemed like today. You were all
Yeah.
bouncy and fucking awake.
Yeah,
You
I got
sh-
plenty of sleep last
You
night.
got shit.
There was
going.
no reason for me to take a nap.
and then Taco Bell hit, and you're like,
Yeah. Food,
coma.
Yeah, food
You
coma.
just pulled a Deadpool. Seriously, like in one of the comics, Night of the Living Deadpool,
Nice.
he puts himself in a burrito coma.
Mhm.
He eats so much.
That's just a type
burrito.
of blanket.
No, like he eats so much burrito that he passes out, and then he wakes up, and the world is full of zombies.
That's
so,
fair.
Oh my god.
so, all right, Jason. What are your whimsical films for today?
Whimsical.
I know I keep saying whimsical, but that's because musical is basically whimsical.
Oh brother, where art thou?
Are you going in order?
Fuck. Sorry, I forgot about that movie. God damn it, I love that movie.
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
me
watched it
too.
the other day on Amazon Prime. Oh my god.
It's funny because he came at work. He was like all like in my face about it too. So, Tim, is Brother We're Out There a musical? Does that count? And I was like, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that
it
counts.
does. He's like, that's totally mine. So
What the fuck kind of impression are you making? But anyways, yeah, I was confused if it would be a musical because it's not like they all like flash mob in sync get together and
No, they
like
don't.
sing the next chapter of the story. But there's so much music.
but they
in
have
that
music.
movie.
They have music.
and its performances and
Yeah, they have music.
just a big part of the movie.
Musical. I don't know, marks or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they stop and actually sing songs.
Beats.
Yeah.
and whatnot, yeah.
So yeah, it's a musical.
I mean, they don't propel the story.
This is
forward, but
Coen
they-
Brothers,
they-
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a Coen Brothers movie.
That's why it's so good too. So it's like the Coen Brothers do a phenomenal job at making something artistic and still like.
Oh, the movie
Entertaining.
looks beautiful. Like it
I mean,
is-
just
yeah.
in general, like their work, like
Yeah.
they just know they're really good at making something artistic and still like
They
not.
they took the Odyssey and made it somehow.
That's
into
what it
a-
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, it's a rendition of the Odyssey.
Yep. I mean, everything down to John Goodman being the Cyclops
Yep.
to the three sirens.
Yep. And then you have, I mean, other than the main character being Odysseus crossing and doing his thing,
But he is trying to get back to his family,
He
which
is,
is what
yeah.
Odysseus does at the end of the
but
war. Yeah.
you have Poseidon, who is the sheriff with the dogs. He's supposed to be
The
Poseidon.
sunglasses.
Yep, with sunglasses. He's Poseidon. Yeah,
Or he's
I-
portrayed as the devil in Oh Brother Art Thou, but yeah, I know what you mean.
but he's
Yeah.
Poseidon.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yep.
the same concept.
Yep. Because you're dealing with the Greek myths, and
Yeah.
there is no devil in the Greek myths.
Well, there's no devil, but I mean, there's Hades is the
He's not a devil. He's a
no,
god.
No, but he rules over the underworld,
That's
which is
a
the same.
whole other concept.
I was like, we're splitting hairs here.
You're
but
still dealing with gods. There's no devils. They don't exist. They don't even have demons. They have minions, which is entirely different concept. Apparently, too.
Gru does too.
Groot.
They like
I am
Gru.
Groot.
Oh, Groot.
Gru from Despicable Me.
Oh,
He has minions.
I thought you said Groot.
For a second,
Groot.
you guys sounded like minions. Gibberish.
Yeah, Steve.
Ah,
I
shit.
like the minions.
Minions are good.
Yeah, I think they're funny.
Moving on. See if we can
Yeah,
propel you
how do
forward.
you like it?
Let's see if we can propel you forward a little faster than we did me.
Probably.
Yeah, we're
'cause,
failing at this whole attempt to get this done and
oh,
over
brother,
with.
that was year 2000. Fuck it. The next one is year 2000. Also, The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, still picking out fucking Disney
Yep.
movies.
Fucking Disney, man. You gotta save that for Disney time. I love this movie. I saw this movie in theater like 3 times as a kid.
Really?
Oh yeah, I fucking loved it, and I own the double disc version.
Gonna be very honest.
It is very.
Never watched
It's
the
David
full thing.
Spade.
It is John
it's
Goodman, Patrick
Wahlberg.
Warburton.
Warburton.
Oh,
Yeah, he plays
Warburton.
Gronk.
Gronk.
Gronk. Why do we even have that lever? Huh.
The story's so good. The jokes are fucking one after the
David
other. The
Spade,
songs
man.
are right there. And David Spade, yeah, with
It's
his
David
David
Spade.
Spade attitude.
It's great. It's
Written all
David.
over
Yeah,
it.
it's David Spade playing David Spade as a
Yep.
llama. That's all it is. It's literally David
Yeah.
Spade playing a llama, which isn't far from how he looks to begin with. So
Yeah. Not wrong.
It's just
I've
like a miniature
never watched
llama. Oh, check it out if you ever
Or like an
if it comes
alpaca.
across your path. Like it's
It's great.
really
2000.
unique. Yeah, right.
God damn. I thought it. Damn.
Yeah, I thought it was in the
Still,
90s.
it still holds up too. Have you watched it recently?
Well,
No.
3 years.
It still holds up. It still fucking holds up. It's still a great
Yeah.
fucking movie.
No, it will always
it's
be
timeless. And the animation was different than a lot of the Disney stuff too. So
Really?
it was, yeah,
great. Yeah,
it was just I
because
don't
it
know.
brought that Egyptian type thing.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Try South America.
Different continent. South American,
Yeah.
Aztecian, even Incan would work.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ooh.
There's 3. Yeah, we just gave you 3 different ones you want to
Yeah,
work
that's
Pretty
what
much
I
the
meant.
only 3 that you need to really.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Egyptian. No. No.
All right.
Walk
All right.
like-
If anything, in your fairness, it's the South American version of the Egyptians.
Word.
He saw a pyramid and went, Egyptian.
I'm laughing because it's true.
Jesus.
God damn it.
We need to culturize this.
I am
bitch.
very uncultured. Dick. Are you gonna let me pick Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah, I told you. I
Did you?
Yeah, because you asked me about that like from the get go, and I was like, yeah, because you actually have the musical numbers in there
Yeah.
where they're actually working on. Because there was that. I wanted to try to define the difference between like a music thing
Yeah.
and having music. But at this point, you're dealing with the creation of music,
Mm-hmm.
like the like and then
What,
yeah,
You
you
what
have.
did we say? It had to have like 3 to 5 like actual musical like numbers.
Oh shit.
I don't know, maybe.
I
We
don't
talked
remember
about that
that.
at one point.
I
Like
don't
you
know.
and I were like
Okay.
hashing out that
Yeah.
detail.
I just basically because there's a difference between like there's a difference between like having a film about like creating a band or something,
Yeah.
which this is, but then having something that like
Have the actual performances.
performances and
yeah.
stuff. In this one, you have full songs. You
Yeah, for
basically
sure.
have
Yeah.
them. It's a lot of music in this one, so
A lot of it in the
Yep.
end. Ooh, it's so good. True story,
sound
mainly.
effects.
Boom.
Yeah, it was good too. Because I recently watched it because you
I
told me
insisted,
to.
yes.
Yep. And actually, I think it was you and Jim that both were like, "Dude, you gotta watch
Well,
it."
it was
But-
weird because I told you to watch it, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll get to it as whenever," and then you ended up getting to it soon, and then you told Jim about it like at work, and he was like, "That's weird. I just watched the movie as well."
Oh, okay.
So then
maybe
you guys
that's what
got
it
in
is.
like a conversation about
Yeah.
it, like a pretty fresh one because
Yeah,
you both
because hip
watched
hop's
it.
your guys' world. And so
Yeah.
like when it comes to hip hop, I go to you guys because I only know a little bit.
Right. Well,
Corpse and DJ Iron Gut.
Yep.
ew, gross. But
To what? Corpse?
I know.
But yeah, no. It was good. You liked it?
I fucking love it. Don't ever watch the extended version. That's over 3 hours long. Not worth it. But otherwise,
Just
it's
a bunch
real-
of filler shit that doesn't need to be
Yeah,
there.
they try to hit you with too much emotion. That's not worth it.
Well, and I mentioned this about the film is that the guy who's playing Easy
Yeah.
fucking looks just like Easy. Just
Yep.
actually, the actor is lighter skinned
Right.
than. No, it's the other way around. Sorry, I think Easy was lighter skinned than the actor. I think the actor was darker. Right? Is that what I said? I don't know. Either way, fucking looks just like him.
Yeah.
And I was actually
Seems like
very
it's getting
impressed
very
with.
racial.
Well, I was very impressed with the guy who did the kid that did Dre too, because
Yeah.
the fucking cast was just on point.
The cast was great.
For the most part.
I
I don't know about the other ones.
No, yeah, I don't know. What the fucking
Ice Cube's son.
yeah, right? He actually he auditioned and
Yeah.
worked out for that role or practiced.
He looks a lot like his dad.
yeah,
yeah.
especially
Well, and that's exactly what Ice Cube said. Just like, no. You're going to earn this.
yeah.
He told him, he's like, I can just give it to you. Like, you got to earn it.
Mhm.
And he did. And he sounds. Because that was the other thing that you told me was that they were actually rapping.
Actually rapping,
Like
yeah.
all of them were
Oh,
doing
dope.
their own rapping and their own music or whatever. Like they were actually performing themselves, which is why I think you can call this a musical.
Yep, and they
And-
rehearsed for that shit, and they
and-
were coached by a real rapper from back in the day. And
What
yeah.
was what's Ice Cube's son's name?
O'Shea?
O'Shea, yeah, O'Shea.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jack, yeah. O'Shea Jackson.
he sounded just like his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that he looks. You could see a similarity for sure. He
Yeah,
hit
his
it.
facial tics and like
Yeah.
certain like reaction.
But he sounded when he was especially rapping just like his fucking dad.
Yeah,
Just like the old original
hell yeah.
fucking Ice Cube. So what's up.
Then what's the Jerry Heller, the guy that played the manager?
yep, Paul Giamatti,
Yeah,
which is great.
he
He's
Paul
always played a
I
great
fucking
slime ball.
love Paul Giamatti.
Yeah,
He-
absolutely. He's so underrated. For as
Dude,
big
bro,
of an
yeah.
actor as he is, he's so underrated.
He's
I don't know
doing
what happened.
so much
I don't know
shit.
if he's
Yeah.
underrated, but because he can get whatever he wants, it seems that at this point.
But
and-
you don't see it. Maybe it's his
because
choice.
he spends all his time in that stupid Showtime.
Billions?
Yeah,
Billions, yeah.
the first couple seasons was all right. Now it's just a fucking joke
Yeah, well, that I
or
don't
some
know.
kind of
I've
fucking
never watched it.
tug of war competition
Yeah.
type.
But
of
before
show.
that, I mean, Paul Giamatti was doing tons of great shit. I mean, Lady in the Water,
Oh, I love
The
that movie.
Illusionist.
That was okay.
So I'm saying
I love
It seems
that
like he
ending
can
with
do
him
whatever.
just laughing in the street
Mhm.
like a weirdo.
But yeah, the movie is good on the creation of gangster rap, some studio creation, camaraderie, and then getting kids being fucked over by the major music labels because it was new to the culture to begin
Yeah.
with, and they were too young to enter such a fucking large
Yeah.
Goliath business type of thing.
And that's the one thing, like, I remember having this conversation with you guys at work about this, was like going to school for music and engineering. Like, I had to take a music business class or course. And that was the one thing, like, they basically were teaching us or educating us on the shitty side of the music world.
This
Yeah.
is how you screw your clients.
Yeah, no, it's the other way. They're basically telling you this is how people get screwed over.
Oh.
And it's like, if you're not a lawyer, don't do anything yourself. They're just
Yeah.
like, because there's no independent artist that can go out there and figure their shit out legally unless you're that fucking smart to figure it out. How
Right?
many people really are?
No.
So, and there's so many loopholes and all that stuff. It was like, basically what we learned in school was, like contracts, like this is the kind of contracts you need, and there's a bazillion of them. And if you don't have a lawyer, don't bother. Always have a lawyer. That's basically what we learned. Have a lawyer at all time that will tell you what's up and can read them because of this movie. It shows you.
Yeah.
This movie exactly shows you what I was learning in school. Don't fuck with that shit unless you know somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, because once you sign your name, you are
You are
fucked.
fucked. Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. I was impressed. For not somebody, I mean, I liked, I listened to NWA and,
Right.
Ice Cube and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that. But
you didn't get into it like as much as
I'm not a
I did
hip-hop
back-
culture guy.
Yeah,
No.
and it's just,
nope,
but it was a well told story.
it was really good.
Yeah.
I was very
Is it
impressed.
streaming on anything?
It
no,
was.
No, that's why I bought it on Vudu
Oh,
Oh,
word.
because it was on sale for like $4. And I was like,
that's
"Yeah,
where I
that's it."
watched it.
Somebody's got your voodoo password, so
And that's both of you.
Yes.
I got a couple movies I gotta watch now.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was good. I like that. Cool.
Cool.
So far, I've seen all of them. What was yours again?
Crybaby, Labyrinth, and The Greatest Showman.
Yep. What was yours again?
Emperor's New Groove,
Yep.
Straight Outta Compton, and
Oh, brother, where art thou?
thank
Yeah.
you.
And I love all, pretty much all of these except for Crybaby.
Cryberry?
Crybaby.
Oh, the old
I'm like,
Cryberry.
Wombat.
okay, I don't know what that was.
I don't know either.
All right, so my musicals are.
I wish the camera could have seen the way Aaron just looked at me.
I'm going in order as I usually do. So,
Lies.
That's by year.
yep, by year. So
I feel like you didn't go by year
1979,
last week.
All That Jazz. So I watched this movie in film school, and it was mind blowing to me. Especially, I don't know. This is a really dark movie
Is this the one
about
with Andre 3000? No, that's not it.
no, 1979 of Andre
Nope.
5000.
I thought I heard 1999, and I was like,
Nope. This is this is a Bob Fosse film.
you're a Bob Fosse.
So Bob Fosse directed this, and
Way to
It's-
climb out of that hole.
it's a musical.
fighting my way back.
It's basically about a director choreography, Bob Fosse. So it's a musical about himself, basically.
It's an auto musical biography.
Fictional.
Auto to
Fictional autobiography. Like it's fictitious. But yeah, it's about him. He made himself the main character. And he tells his own life story in detail of his career as Joe Gideon.
We have to like put
a-
quotations about his own
yeah.
life story.
So basically, a guy he was a famous jazz dancer, choreographer, whatever, and he was a huge he was into drugs, and he was huge into sex. So it's about his addictions taking over, and towards the end of the film, like he's supposed to die, but he decided he didn't want to. And so he made a whole musical about it, or a whole musical piece about it. So I was blown away by this film. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what was going on, but I was very impressed. And Roy Scheider, who played in Jaws as the
Let me get
sheriff,
the bigger boat.
yep, he plays Bob Fosse, and I'm gonna tell you, completely different characters. Like I've never seen this guy in anything other than Jaws. And then
Sequest DSV.
I don't think I've seen it.
Whatever.
And then and then I saw him in this. I'm like, hey, that's the Jaws guy. My God, is he characteristic? It's not flamboyant, just characteristic. Like, he's
He's a great actor.
He
Roy
is.
Scheider's a great actor.
He is. This film basically just said, that fucker can act.
Yeah, for sure.
Because all I saw him was in Jaws, and
He'd been
do a
acting
lot.
for quite a while before Jaws, I think. I think he got the Jaws role, like... I think he'd been acting for quite a while.
Well, I haven't really
I'm gonna
seen him in
retract
anything
what I
other
said.
like I know he's in like The French Connection, but
Gene Hackman.
yeah, but it was just 1971. But I've never really seen him in anything, so
Yeah.
Heck, man.
yeah. But he died in 2008.
Yeah, well, he outlived his co-star from Sequest DSV,
I don't know what that is.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah, but that's because he killed himself.
Hey, winning is winning.
He shot himself, I think. No, he hung himself.
Hung himself.
It was the Jackson guy who shot himself.
Oh,
From Jackson.
Agent Cody Banks.
No.
The other the
Action
black
Jackson.
version. Yeah,
Action
the
Jackson.
black version. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh wow.
I've had 3 hours of sleep and I'm
Yeah, right. You got too much sleep. He didn't get enough sleep. It's all the booze. That's all we're gonna say. So that was my first one. I do suggest watching it. It's interesting.
I did write it down. It does sound cool.
Yeah, it's a very interesting film. So both of the other two I have are the same date, so I can't. So it's 2008.
came out on the same day.
So it came out when the other guy died. So apparently I'm doing something right. Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog.
No, you did that last week.
What? Oh, did I? Fuck.
Yeah.
I thought. Never mind. Oh God, I'll do the repo.
Yeah, this is the one you were supposed to
Yeah.
I
do.
forgot. It's Tenacious D is the other.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, I've
Repo
corrupted
first.
you all.
yes, I blame you. So,
Anyways,
Repo, the genetic opera, dark, and I love it because it's dark. It's
What year is this?
it's 2008.
pay
Okay.
attention.
Well,
Here's how it's a horror musical sci-fi, and it stars Actually, it has a handful of stars.
Because the daughter is somebody too.
So the daughter is the chick who plays in Spy Kids. She's also in Machete. She played the
yeah.
Oh.
yeah, in Machete. So she was in Spy Kids. She was the girl in Spy Kids. I
Yeah.
just don't know the name. And she grew up. And
Just that one chick.
she's that one chick. She's fucking smoking hot now. My God.
At least he said now.
And, well, yeah. But the main actor is what we were talking about earlier, Anthony Stewart Head, who played in Buffy the Vampire as the
Giles.
Giles, the Watcher.
He was the Watcher of
He's the
Buffy.
librarian in high
Well, he was
school.
the
Okay.
school librarian, but his title was Buffy's Watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he basically the one that trains Buffy to be a vampire slayer.
Mhm.
Trains and keeps lore.
And you know what? He's good in this. He's super good in this. He plays the main guy. He plays the repo guy who basically this is a very dark, it's like futuristic, like sci-fi kind of bullshit like we said, but it's basically he goes and he takes people's organs back when they can't pay their bills. And it's gruesome.
and he sings about it.
And he sings about it. It's gruesome and it's good, but he's also like feeling like bad about it. He's like gaining a conscience, like, oh, I have a daughter who's sick, so I got to take care of her, and now I can't do this shit anymore, and whatever. But Paris Hilton is in it.
What an interesting trope.
Right.
Like the guy that does a bad job and then gets a conscience.
Yeah, Paris Hilton is in it.
All because of
I hope they harvested something from
Nope,
her.
she plays like the queen, like the king of the main company that takes the
There is no
genetic
God.
whatever.
sounds annoying.
It's like a daughter of that. So like, there's these
Sounds
three.
like her real life.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There's these three
Instead
heirs.
of hotel, she owns
Yep.
organs.
Yep. There's these three heirs to the company, and she's one of them. And so is Bill Moseley.
Does she? Oh yeah.
Does she give a
Paris-
night vision blowjob in this movie too?
Maybe.
A night vision blowjob?
You've never seen Paris?
One Night in
Hilton's sex tape?
Paris.
No.
She gives like the guy that made Girls Gone Wild a blowjob in night vision.
Yeah, apparently they were dating for a little bit. And then he got arrested for fucking minors.
Well, yeah.
So-
I, think-
Now that I've derailed Jason's night,
I am gonna not speak a bunch of stupid
And,
shit that I thought of.
Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino. Yep.
Yep.
He plays
is-
God in the Devil's Carnival. From that's who I was thinking of last week when I was talking about God.
Does he?
He's
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Paul, if I'm thinking of the right guy, Paul Sorvino.
He's a big Italian guy.
Yeah.
And he's known for his mobster kind of look or whatever, but he's a talented actor. He's in a bunch of shit too.
He's
I
all over
cannot.
the place.
So
He's in Money Talks.
Ogre.
Oh, yeah.
He's in here too. Yep. I think he plays
His name I don't remember.
I think he plays like the narrator, the one who's like telling the story. So
What's happening?
that sounds amazing.
he's like a metal
music.
music. I think it's metal musician. Like is that who he is?
No.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody
He's just
else.
an actor.
Oh, is he just an actor?
He's
Oh.
just like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds is like his biggest role.
Oh, no, not that guy. Not that guy. His name is this dude's name is legitimately Ogre. I thought you would know it
This
because
episode is fucking
Okay,
wild.
wait. Spell
Right?
the name. Spell it for me. For
it's
just one-
Ogre. It's exactly
Is
how
it
it's
O-G-R-E?
O-G-R-E.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking
All right.
about.
He's so I believe that he's just like a European metal musician. This is why I've
Because I know of
you're the
an I know of an
music
act
metal
that's Ogre is
musician.
OHGR,
No, not this guy.
but that sounds vastly different. This,
anyway, moving on from that one.
Isn't that wait?
this is the night we might come to blows.
I had a comment. I'm not gonna say it. Nope.
Hell yeah.
I was like, don't reach into the blow comment, please.
So my next one is Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny, 2006.
Mm.
I fucking love this movie instantly.
It's great.
I used to watch the Tenacious D on HBO. They had Tenacious D like show, and it was like
I didn't.
4 or 5. I don't know. It was like they had a
Oh, yeah.
season on HBO.
Interesting. Okay.
But it got cut short, didn't it?
I feel like I don't really remember what happened to it, but I didn't know that Tenacious D was actually a real band.
Right.
yeah,
I
but
thought
they were
it-
an actual act.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
thought it
know
was
that.
like a
I thought it was just a skit or
sketch,
whatever.
yep.
Yeah. And then, but then I remembered, I'm like, oh my God, they are.
Yep.
Because they're in what movie? They're in a movie on college campus. Van Wilder? No. PCU, maybe?
No.
No.
No, you're thinking of Parliament Funkadelic is in PCU.
Well, yeah, but they're not like a main. They're just like a glimpse. It's like they're like in
Right.
they're like in a courtyard or whatever, and they're just playing. So is it maybe accepted? I don't know. Some college
But
film like
that type of film. For
Uh,
sure.
And then they came out with a tribute, and I saw them on TV like some award. They were actually
That was
performing.
like an actual album, wasn't it? Like,
Well, they did, but this
Yeah.
was like before the album came out. They did
Oh,
this.
word. Okay.
They were performing on some kind of award or something, and I was watching. And I'm like, this is a real thing. And so yeah, then they came out with the album. I was like, I'm fucking buying it. My mother actually really likes this album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to listen to it a lot, and I love it still to this day. It's great. But Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny, when it came out, I was all over this shit.
Mhm.
Not only they had some great like actors and performers like Meatloaf,
Meatloaf's
the
in it.
songs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fucking songs were super.
Oh, it's an all original like soundtracks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Oh yeah.
it's a great fucking album.
Hilarious.
So and it's a great.
Dave Grohl plays the devil.
Yes. Yep.
Ben
he does.
Stiller's in there somewhere, right?
He does. He's the Guitar Center guy.
Yeah.
Paul F. Tompkins is the bar manager that like they try to get to let them in to like perform.
Yep. Dio makes a little appearance.
That's right. Dio's in it. Yep. Before
Yup.
he got all cancered up.
And then Fred Armisen.
What
Amy-
the fuck did Fred Armisen play? I can't remember
Oh
him.
shit. That's well
security
before.
guard.
That's well
Oh.
before
At
SNL,
the,
right?
At the I think it's at the Rock
The
Hall
Rock
of Fame.
Roll
or
Hall of
whatever,
Fame.
Yep. Amy Poehler, she plays the waitress at the diner who
God,
has like
I
a black
haven't
eye.
I haven't seen this movie for fucking ever. I
Me
forgot all
either.
these people.
Yeah.
in it.
She's like, "Oh, you guys are so." There's like something about, "Oh, is refills? Do they are refills free?" He's like, "Yes, because you're all pretty." And she has like a black eye because she looks like white trash. So, Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Yep.
No shit.
He plays the stranger. He plays the weird fucking
Oh,
guy with
yeah.
the limp
Yeah.
who wants to get the pick. They hire like he wants them to get the picks or whatever. So, yep, yeah. It's a classic. It's great. So those are my three. I have
Hell
nothing
yeah.
else to say.
Word.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now we're finally through it. Finally got through it.
Made it.
Oh my god, an hour
Made
and
it.
a half later.
We're like 3.5 hours later.
So,
Thanks to me.
Civil War time. Captain America's Civil War. So this is a very dense film.
Yeah.
It has a lot of context. So
Yes.
yeah, this is gonna be. a
That's
very
why I
interesting
was
topic.
so surprised a few episodes ago. We mentioned something about Civil War, and you were like, I remember it not being my favorite film.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
No,
This
it's
is
true. You did
by
say that.
far, like and I bit my tongue because I was ready for a debate. I was like, but today at work, you were just like, my God, this movie is
Yep.
not what I thought it was at the time, and
So-
we'll get into all that.
Do you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
That out of the first three Captain Americas, let's keep this on a standalone because this basically feels like an Avengers film.
Yeah.
But as a standalone, this is the third installment of his standalone Captain America. Whatever. Do you like it? Which one do you like the most?
This one.
Yeah, probably this one. I like
I
definitely
agree.
like this more than Winter Soldier.
This
I
one.
remember more of this than I do the first Avenger. Let's put it that way. So
Okay, I agree. I think this one is.
This one helped me like Winter Soldier a little bit more for some reason. I don't know. Okay, I like this one the first,
yes.
it's damn near better than Iron Man, and that's like my favorite story and movie. Like this shit is so good. It ties so many of the other movies into it. Like they're all just set up and build up, and everything comes crashing in this movie.
and you see some very interesting
I don't know if it's too-
character. You see some interesting character growth from a couple people.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say that this is the Guardians of the Galaxy is my number one.
Yeah. Okay.
Thor was my number
Yep.
two. This would replace Thor.
Okay.
And Thor's not
Sure.
even fucking in it.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite.
No.
But after rewatching it, I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me back then, but I did come up with a conclusion that I don't think I had the appreciation for these films when they were coming out. And as we had mentioned before, like Aaron had said, I think a couple episodes ago or something like that, was that since we're watching them so close together now that there's not the space and time, we're seeing things come together. We have a bit of better feel
connections
for them.
are
The
fresh.
connections, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're not waiting 2 years
Mm-hmm.
to forget about what happened.
Yeah, any of the stuff that's built up has time to die down.
Yeah.
If you have to wait 2 years in between, unless you go back and rewatch it right before you go watch the new one.
Yeah,
It just
like-
wasn't that convenient back then.
yeah. And
It's
something
before streaming services and shit.
And that's something
Yeah.
else that I'm starting to realize was like when I was in school for like my film as a visual poem, or any of my film classes, to be honest, when we were talking about a film, having a discussion about a film, we watched that film 3 times.
Yeah.
So like Red Thin Line, it's almost 3 hours long. We watched that fucking film 3 times and had to write a paper about it. So like, yeah. So like, I'm starting to understand why.
I did the mental math on that one.
I'm starting to understand why we watched these films so much. Because each time you watch it, you see something new. You have more of an appreciation. You go into it and you're watching the story. You know, you're taking everything in. Second time you watch it, you've already taken everything in. Now you start to realize
Yeah.
that there's these little details that you missed.
Yeah.
Then you watch it for a third time. At that point, you're flushing everything out. Going, "Oh my
Yeah.
goodness."
Yeah.
And then you
You're
start pulling.
nitpicking.
Yep, you start to pull everything out. And I'm like, fucking class. Like,
That-
goddamn Philippe.
That does
So,
make sense.
That's what it was.
Before we get too carried away, do we want to read off the details?
Yes, let's just water.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ooh, someone wasn't prepared.
Oh, I thought you had it up on your
I
phone.
mean, I did, but my phone locked, so like I had to unlock it.
Oh, word.
So Captain America: Civil War came out in 2016.
It's been that long already.
Yeah, runs 2 hours and 27 minutes.
Which so far is the longest running film.
Yeah.
What?
To this point. From Iron Man to this is the longest.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
By like 3 minutes, I think. From
Sure.
Gotcha.
from like the Avengers,
Oh,
I think.
What?
One of those.
the tagline for this is "Divided we fall," which just seems really cliche.
Yeah.
Does me.
Cheesy.
Mm,
I need some broccoli.
So yeah, it came out in 2000. What did I say? 16.
16.
Yeah, the numbers were way at the top. I can't go back.
Scrolling's hard.
all the way up that
Well,
hill.
like I legit have to go all the way back down to the bottom of the fucking IMDb page.
yeah.
IMDb page.
We know.
I
Anyway,
know all
so,
about that.
Don't explain.
Trouble.
So budget wise, it had a $250 million budget, just like Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron had the same budget.
220.
Two.
Oh no,
No.
250 for Age of Ultron. Yes,
Yeah.
220
Yeah.
was
Avengers.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Or Avengers. That's
Avengers had
Avengers.
220. Age of
This
Ultron
is- this
250.
is
This had
252?
250 again.
All right. It definitely
Um,
feels like a 250.
I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be a little bit more than Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have to CGI as many robots in this one as.
But
Ultron
we've
did,
already
but-
established CGI must not be the
That's
thing.
not a deal.
Valid.
It's not a budget breaker.
I think
true.
it has to do with like Age of Ultron. It actually makes sense now, but Age of Ultron, there's a lot of fucking explosions shit going on.
Yeah,
this
there's
one
not
didn't
those
have
blow-
This
as
one-
much.
This one, yeah, you're right.
There was a lot of different places that they had to go to.
Yeah,
though.
this is
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of
It just,
travel.
it just felt so big.
I don't
This
know,
movie
it is
is
true.
fucking
They're
huge.
all fucking.
But anyways,
So opening weekend, it had a $250 million budget. Opening weekend, it made $179 million domestic,
Domestic. Damn.
which I believe is close to 20 million more than.
I don't
20 million
remember
more than
Age of Ultron or
Age of Ultron, because
yeah.
I be completely honest, I don't remember much of the details of Ant-Man.
Ant-Man didn't do that well. It was the
no,
lowest.
Yeah.
It was like the lowest of them. Like
Yeah.
it barely. It was like 130 or 40 million too, and it was
no.
like 89 or something like
I
that.
remember the commercial for this, the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking.
What?
I don't know. What were you gonna say? I remember the trailer, watching the trailer for the first time, going, "Oh,
Yeah, they made it. They made
that
it
looks
like the,
intense."
this is intense. Blah blah blah. The best comic movie ever made. And I just rolled my eyes like, oh my god, yeah, right. And then one of the employees came to work and was like, the commercial wasn't wrong, man. Like fuck.
It's the
So I
same
went-
guy who told you to watch that other film.
Yes,
that you're like, "Oh,
exactly.
Yep, thank you."
And his word is not to be fucked with. So I was like,
What's
all
his
right,
name? Let's get him on this podcast.
Marcus.
All right, Marcus, if you're out there.
He's not.
Damn. All right, well,
rest
she
in
just,
R.I.P.
peace,
she
brother.
just got real.
Marcus.
Rest in peace, brother. Good times. But so yeah, I went and watched it, and whew, I was like, fucking. I don't like to agree with advertisements or shit like that. You know,
You
the
hippie.
hipster I am.
Yep.
But I was like, wow, this is like just. It was mind blowing.
Yeah, I saw this in the theaters too, and I remember being plugged in
Yeah.
the entire time.
Mhm.
It's hard not to. Like, you don't get a chance to go,
No, because
because there's always something.
and it's,
It's
not, and it's not the action, the
No.
fighting. It's the
Fucking
emotion.
drama.
It really is.
This is a.
What do we get if we strip all the comic book shit away on this movie, Aaron?
This is, dude. This is a family drama. Is what this is. Like, legit. Like, no, I'm serious.
No,
like, this
no,
is,
yeah, you're
this
right,
is
yeah.
familial.
I agree.
Like drama.
Yeah,
This is a family drama. This is basically like the
This
family.
is family
the family
at
can't agree with
Thanksgiving.
something. Yeah. This is the Christmas vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
This is a
with the-
serious National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
oh yeah.
Anyway,
Captain America would be Chevy Chase,
Oh yeah.
and Tony Stark would be his boss.
Who would play Randy Quaid's part? Who's cousin Eddie in this situation?
Spider Man. I was gonna go Ant-Man.
Wow. All right.
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang. Yeah.
All right. I'll give you that one. I just wanted to know who's what
Right.
your opinions on that one.
Because he's the only one that's like funny, but he's also like not important.
I'll
I'm
give
the
you
one most likely to be locked up.
That's true. Yeah.
that. Touche.
Yeah. Should start with that.
Let's finish out these
Numbers.
numbers real quick. Domestic gross. It made $408 million.
Shit, we're still in the details.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then worldwide gross, it grossed $1.15 billion.
Billion.
Hell yeah.
Billion people. Billion. Gross wide. That is. Fuck. That's a shit
God
ton of-
damn, Marvel was set after this.
That that kind of money lets you fight the church. Like
The Vatican.
they could fight the Catholic
Fuck
Church
you,
with that much
Vatican.
money.
We got money, bitches. We do what we want. Enough of your petty rules.
We're gonna poop in the woods too.
Pull an Amber Heard and poop on their pillow.
Ooh.
Pink eye.
Boom. But yeah, so those are my details.
Hell yeah. Let's get into the
The nitty gritty.
nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
The giddy.
So, first off, and most important question, Aram, who do you side with?
Who do I side with?
Or Captain America?
Bro, this is still fucking Iron Man trying to like do what he thinks is best without consulting anybody.
Yep.
So I stand firmly on the side of Captain America because he's the first one to say this isn't, safety, this is fear.
Yes.
This is it's an allegory to say that like a lot of people are willing to give up a lot of their freedoms just to have a little bit of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not one of those people. I'm not a fucking right wing nut or anything like that either. But
I just like the Captain America said, what if we have to go do something that we feel is right and they won't allow us to?
Yeah.
And they're wrong. And like that right there says
Yeah.
it all. Like
So you stick with Captain America.
I'm on Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America.
Because I agree.
You're gonna
Tony
be on Iron
Stark.
Man's side, aren't you?
Tony Stark is fucking. He's looking for that safety net. He couldn't do it on his own. So now he's kneeling to a boss.
Yeah,
For the first time
it's,
ever?
it's like he says that we need to be put in check.
And I get why his character is doing that
Yep.
because he's scared as fuck.
But
Yeah,
it
'cause
comes down
Alfred
to
Woodard made him feel bad.
Yeah.
So like he
what it comes down to what Aram said is he's just trying to do his fucking Iron Man thing.
Yeah.
He's
he
only
knows
thinking
what's
about
best,
himself.
So like
Yeah.
he's trying to assuage his own conscience.
Yeah, he felt bad because of the situation because that woman who
That's right. Alfred Woodard made him feel
Yeah.
bad. So
Yeah.
like
So-
he figured we have to do this.
now he's like, oh well, I'm gonna take control. I'm not the captain. I'm
Yeah.
not the leader, but you all need to obey.
Yeah.
Once again, he's playing a role he doesn't want to play and still playing it.
Yeah.
He's trying to play with all the power, but none of the consequences.
And this is the perfect thing that he said. He basically just said it. We need to be put in check, but there needs to be contingencies is the way they put it. But
Yeah.
if something goes bad,
Yeah.
somebody else needs to cover it up or
Yeah.
deal with it
Right.
because they can't. Because then all the responsibilities at that point comes on them, and they become whatever.
Yeah. It's trying to not be held accountable
Yeah,
for
yeah.
shit
Whole
that goes
movie is
wrong.
about accountability.
Yes, well, to a kind of. It's a little bit further into. So this film bases itself not necessarily on accountability, but as much as forgiveness and stubbornness. So we talked about in the Avengers how there's too many big heads in the same room.
Yeah.
This is two stubborn people not willing to step aside their stubbornness and meet in the middle. That's really all it is. It's a marriage. It's a marriage that they both they have the same problems, but they just don't agree on the way the problem should be solved.
It's the classic opposing viewpoints of it's taking one subject being like, this is my side of things, this is my side of things, and never meeting in the middle.
Nope,
It's
there's no compromise.
It's one extreme to the other.
Yep, there's no
There's
compromise.
no middle ground. There's no gray area. It's black and white.
And
Yeah.
that's what this is. It's about the relationship between the two that can't compromise, their stubbornness. So because of their stubbornness, it's defaulted on everybody else. Because everybody else is casualty at this point. So it's literally two power heads, two rams going at it, button heads, not realizing that these are humongous, massive, 30 feet, rams destroying a town.
Right.
Because that's what we see.
I feel like if Captain America had just mounted Tony, they would have figured things out really quick.
Oh, well, they kind of did
Dominance
that.
display.
They kind of did that. It's the Battle of the Alphas, and one has an alpha head, one has an alpha body. I guess. So,
Yeah, I took that in a weird way. Sorry.
but you know what I'm saying? And so here's my thing about it. I favor more on Captain America's side. I don't agree with.
And that's the thing. This movie has really good arguments.
Oh my God.
To
yes.
where both sides have great points. And so
I don't think anyone would have expected as much politically or intelligently formed arguments to come out of a comic book movie.
this
No.
movie is well written.
And-
Russo brothers. Wait, I don't know if they wrote
Yep,
it.
Russo. I think it was the Russos. Yeah.
Did I
Well,
skip
they didn't
over-
write it, but they
directed it.
Yep.
So sorry.
I'm sure they had their
I
hands. in
skipped
them.
over the writer. Sorry.
But here's the thing about that is that it's like I said, it's a relationship. It's
a
like
family
a family drama. Yep.
Yeah.
But they're not able to forgive either. It's a story about forgiveness. It doesn't come off like it, but it's Tony Stark can't forgive.
Rim shot.
Well,
Spud rim
primarily he can't forgive the fact that his parents died and there's
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
out there
that
to
gets
be
played in
whatever.
at the end.
It does, but he can't let go of Captain America. He can't forgive Captain America for being so resistant.
Yeah.
Captain America can't forgive Tony
Yeah.
for doing the wrong things.
Yep.
He's always holding these bad things against him. He can't say, "Hey, you're doing good too." No, he always and he says that right there in the conference room when he brings the pens.
Yeah,
It's like,
he said,
fucking
just
knew
when
it, Tony.
Just when I think just when you start to do the right thing, you go and do something. I can't remember the line
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
and that's
Very
my
much
point.
that
So
way.
he can't forgive Tony for his past issues, for his past bad stuff that he's done. He just can't. And he said that in the previous film too. Age of Ultron. He's like the black market thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have one that's too righteous, and then you have one that's too selfish.
Yeah.
So
Like I say, those like black and white areas. There's no morally gray spot that either of those two live in.
No.
Like
there's a lot of destructive qualities between the relationship,
Mhm.
and it's affecting everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, how do you feel about the rest of the cast making their decisions?
So they're primarily doing it because of basically influence.
Yes.
So the only one that makes us solid is Vision.
Vision. Yep.
I was actually gonna point out something. What I thought was very interesting is even though Tony makes that argument, he's like, I'm trying to keep the Avengers together. The only one that's actually trying to keep them together is Black Widow. She's the only one making moves to try and keep them
she's-
together.
And that's the side I'm on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is Black Widow.
I can see her
Because-
arguments. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I see her arguments much better than anyone else.
Because she steps her ego aside. She's not
Yep.
about one side or the
She's
other.
the one
She
that let
sees it all.
Captain America
She
get
sees
by
the
her.
big picture of it
Yeah.
all. She's like, if you keep fighting, it's going to destroy us all. If
Yep.
we don't fight hard enough, we're going to lose each other.
Yeah.
It's
There
a
is
non-win-win situation.
there
So
is
what does
no
she do?
one
She
answer.
steps
her
aside.
best line is the path of least resistance doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's not the right path.
Yes.
Yeah.
Black Widow is the only one that sees the big picture. She's the only one that's right, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not
But-
led to believe that because it's not about her.
Right.
It's about basically
it's a Captain
about those
America
two.
movie.
It's
It's-
Captain America.
Well, even though she's right, she still doesn't have an answer.
because
Because
that's
she's,
just it. There is no
she's-
answer though.
there- exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That line about the path of least resistance isn't necessarily the wrong path.
Yeah.
Is probably the most poignant line of the whole movie.
Well, and then her and Captain America says something about like, but if you do this, you're just gonna lose us all, or something like that. And then Captain says like, yeah, but if you fight them or something, I fucking can't remember. It's after the Wakanda thing.
It's during the funeral, isn't it?
Maybe. Yeah,
Like,
actually,
yeah.
it may be.
Because I think it's the same point when she says that line about the path of least resistance.
Oh, yeah,
isn't necessarily the
absolutely.
wrong path.
Is that the
'Cause
same time?
Yeah, because
She said something about it's like, well, if you
what's
do
more
this,
important is keeping us together. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
what are
what
we
it is.
giving up in respect to
That's
that?
what
That's
it
the whole
is.
thing. It's like, it's a
Yeah.
matter of what we're giving up to keep
Yep.
us together.
that's what it is exactly. So, what did you take away from that? What did you take away
Well,
from
and
that?
that's
That keeping
really-
them together. Do you think that the Avengers is better together, or should it not have been a thing? This is basically the whole concept of this film: is should these
Well,
superpowers be a thing?
It's an interesting
This
It's an
supergroup.
interesting theory to
Superband.
put forward, to say, having a bunch of people that have extraordinary powers or skills unchecked is is better to have them with a collar around their neck. But I mean that gives root to the idea of slavery or things like
And-
that. And
That's what Thunderbolt Ross
Yeah.
was basically saying is like, you guys fucked up. We now have to go, hey, you need to be put in check. And that's where Tony Stark was saying, I agree, because of his conscience.
Well, and but this is my argument, and the only thing I'll look at is I look at what would have happened if they didn't intervene. Like, yes, people died, and that's a tragedy, and I'm not saying that that's nothing, but if they hadn't stepped in when they did and how they did, what would have happened otherwise?
And that
no
is
one
what
takes
Captain
that
says.
into account.
But that's what Captain says. He said something very similar to that. Is like, you can't save them all. But we failed because, we got too distracted or we got sidetracked on our own agenda.
Yeah.
So we failed. He was admitting that, yes, we messed up.
But
This was
still,
on
without us, it
ours.
would have been worse.
But without us, without what we did, we can't
And I
save them
think
all.
that's what-
And that's where
it
his
becomes
whole
the
thing.
lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Almost, is kind of the argument.
And when you have a fucking argument like this, there was no answer.
There's
That's
no
kind
answer.
of the best answer, the lesser of two evils.
And that's why once
or the
again,
devil,
sucks.
the devil you know is
Yeah,
better than the
there
devil
you
you
go.
don't. That's another way to look at it.
and see that's where once again like Black Widow, like you would think that but Vision chose a side because he's choosing a
He
side.
ran the math.
Yeah.
He's choosing a side that's not compassionate. He's choosing a side that's more about the, in a lack of a better word, safe side. It's a safe guarantee, which isn't really a guarantee.
He
it's just
ran
a
the math of
safeguard.
like
It's a
how I
safeguard.
can save more people on this side than I
Yeah, it's a-
necessarily
it's a
can on this
safeguard.
side.
Yeah.
because he's conflicted with Wanda's and his emotion, and that's where he's developing compassion.
Mm-hmm.
A synthetic humanoid being that has now realized, because they even brought the things like, I was distracted. I didn't think that was possible. Neither did I.
Right.
Because he's evolving. He's
Yeah.
becoming compassionate. And he's being compassionate because he's starting to have feelings for Wanda.
Yep.
And he's starting to realize that Wanda is that person who everybody looks at her as a monster or whatever, and he doesn't see it that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
But he understands, because what happened in the compound?
What, their conversation?
Like what was happening? What when
Oh, she got locked up?
yeah,
Yeah.
she wanted to go to the store, and what did Vision do?
Distracted her.
Well, yeah, basically tried.
Yeah.
Stepped in front of her and said, "It'd be best if you didn't." Why
Yeah,
don't we
but he
order a
did it with
pizza?"
such a like,
Yeah. Why don't we get a pizza instead?
yeah.
But it's one of those things where like his and it's very subtle too.
Yes.
Because it's not a focus. He's growing. He's evolving.
Yeah.
He's getting feelings. So he doesn't have the compassion when he's making a side. But what does he do later?
In the
During at the airport scene.
oh.
When Wanda gets hurt.
Oh, he freaks out, or fucking doesn't he have like a
He goes to Wanda when she falls down and collapses on the ground.
Oh, he chooses Wanda instead of Rhodey,
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I mean,
or is that not the same time?
it is the same time because he was distracted. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
He had Wanda in his arms because she was hurt,
Yep.
and then Falcon, Iron Man, and Rhodey were after the Quinjet,
Yep.
and Vision shot the beam from his forehead to hit Falcon, but Falcon
Yep.
dodged it, and then it hit Rhodey
Yeah.
and knocked him out. That was the distraction part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's this. They're sitting at the table back at the William Hurt. After he leaves them, I'll let you guys talk about this.
Yeah.
Wanda's like, "What happens if?" She was like, "Are they gonna come for me again?" Vision, without skipping a beat, goes, "We will protect you." I was like, it was like that other time in the other movie when they first saw each other, Age of Ultron.
why are they looking at each
I was
other?
like,
On the train.
I don't know. It's just a Wanda Vision type moment.
So there's a lot of bitterness in this film.
Mhm.
And
It's full, stacked with emotion.
oh god, yeah. Is that can you have forgiveness and still be bitter? Has this film shown a sense of forgiveness and still being bitter?
I want to say yes, but you have to be. It shows maturity
How so?
to forgive and still like be bitter, but still forgive. Seems like a mature thing.
Yeah, but how does this film show it?
Oh,
The
it
very
doesn't.
ending.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
The very ending.
yeah. The cell phone.
The cell phone and the letter to Tony
Yep.
is probably the best example of forgiveness.
Yeah,
Because
Basically
it
taking the higher road.
yeah.
yeah.
He even says he's like it's very much like, I know like how you're feeling and blah blah blah, but like if you need me, I'm always here. Like you can call me, I'll answer. To
I
show
would have
that he
to
like
agree.
despite everything, like I'm always gonna be there for you, like even as a friend.
Don't you think that's just kind of a
It's weird.
I'm right, guy? I'm right. I won.
But that's
Kinda
always
shot-
Captain America. Like he always takes that
Yeah.
road. Like he as much as he can't forgive, like as much as he holds Tony's actions against him, he always takes the road of like, you're supposed to be my friend, you're supposed to be my
Yeah.
comrade. And because he was in the army, like he has that mentality of like, I do not leave a team member behind.
Yeah. He does say that where they were talking to about Barnes, and he's like, he's my friend, Tony. And he's like, so were we.
So was I.
Yeah. Yeah. And so was I. Yeah. He never once looks at Tony as not a friend or even as an enemy. He doesn't look at Tony as an enemy.
No.
His agenda is beyond that.
It's not
This is an
about
obstacle. It's not the problem.
it's not about him and Tony fighting. It's about saving Bucky and doing the right, like, and eventually, stopping Zemo from doing the other
Yeah.
thing that they think is going to happen.
It's about the bigger picture.
It's about the bigger picture and the greater good.
But Tony's, his agenda is what?
It's only at the end there becomes revenge because he finds out that Bucky killed his parents.
He does. And that's the forgiveness that I was getting at.
Yeah.
He can't understand whatever the reason why. He can't understand. Even though you would think as brilliant as a fucker, he's like the guy is that massively intelligent,
Yeah.
but he can't comprehend that he's been brainwashed.
Right.
They've said this over
Even though, yeah,
and
he-
over and over. He's been fucking brainwashed. But for whatever reason, Tony still thinks that it's Bucky who killed him willingly.
Well, I
Right.
think it was just too soon for logic. Like he just took
It's
in.
been 30 fucking years.
No,
or
the
so.
information he just took in from the
Once
video.
again, he's playing a Batman.
I
He can't get over it.
I can
You give me
understand.
10 years
I can
and I would
understand
probably
in
get
that
over my
moment.
parent that being dead.
I can understand in that moment when
Being
he
upset.
says, "I'm gonna." Yeah, I mean, obviously, it took it too
I
far.
was like, to the point of murderous
But
rage.
he was
Right.
impulsive
Yeah.
for really nothing for as logical as he
he
is.
should be. Yeah.
But that's always Tony's thing. Tony's
It
always
is.
impulsive.
He's impulsive.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big flaws. If you want to use D&D terms, that's his flaw.
Yeah.
His characteristic flaws, he's too impulsive.
TNT terms.
Yep.
Flaws a
D&D
thing, man.
Well, no, but I mean, to really round out the character. You know,
Oh, yeah,
He's doing
yeah.
because I did it like an episode or two ago.
it is
Word.
true. It's exactly what it is. It's because he used it.
Callbacks.
And we all love D&D.
Right.
We all understand.
Yeah. No, you go.
Before we get to the ending and the villain, what do you guys think about the action sequences in this film? I think they're some of the best. Like the
Okay.
Bucky, Captain America, and the Bucky and the stairwell shit.
That one was fun.
That
was-
felt like Winter
yeah.
Soldier shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with there's so much emotion behind it.
Not to mention, yeah, I mean, the beginning of this film basically felt like it left off with the Winter Soldier. It
Yeah.
felt like it was still a part of the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Him going after Bucky,
Which
and
is
Bucky
good, 'cause
in Romania, like, buying the fruit, whatever,
Yeah.
and stuff
In
like that, and
Bucharest.
going, yeah. So like, it all felt like it was a Winter Soldier thing.
Which is good because
That's a whole like, that's
so
what
much of it does come across like an Avengers movie, but if you really
It's
pay
only an
attention
Avenger
to it,
film because of the
all the massive
all the,
the cast.
and this is I think the only one that we get a solo standalone with just about everybody in it
Right.
so far, at least. I don't know. There's still a bazillion to be made.
other than Thor, yeah. Thor's the only one not in this one.
Oh yeah, he's the only one, but they make it up with 2-3 other characters.
Yeah.
So we'll finish up the action and
Okay.
so I personally the action was good. They had its moments and then it was like
Where's that?
so personally I had a hard time in the airport.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and
Why?
because you can tell that it was very forced. It was very
It was a
to reach
filler
the-
scene.
yeah.
It's
To
basically
reach
just
the-
an action scene to
it
give
was to
everybody a
satisfy
moment
the
to shine.
audience.
Yeah. Exactly what it was.
That's what it was. It wasn't that it was terrible. It was
Okay.
just you can see certain points where like, yep, they did that just to
Okay.
Move it
'Cause, yeah,
along, like,
that's
keep things-
that's where they kind of went with the jokes a lot in the airport
did.
fighting, and I kind of fell for it because it's a whole mess of friends fighting each other when they love each other and don't want to do this, but they're convinced they have to. That they've chosen a side.
It's
So
definitely
these little passive aggressive, or
Yeah.
not really passive aggressive, these little
It's-
jokes, they work in that sense because they're uncomfortable.
it was little slap fights.
it's a fun scene, but it does not
Yeah.
hold any of the bearing that the stairwell scene with Captain America and the Winter
Right,
Soldier,
yep.
or the end fight scene between Bucky, Captain America, and Iron Man.
definitely.
They hold emotional weight to them that
Yes.
the airport scene does not.
You're
Yes,
right.
yes.
Spider-Man is a filler to give you some.
It has to do with the whole overall feel. Like he's saying, it's that emotional. So in the stairway and stuff like that, all those other fights,
I love
it's
it.
serious.
Yep.
What you're doing is you are not only do they convince you as like the director and all that, the way that they did it, convince you that these fuckers are serious. Like they're on a mission. They're here and here and here. They're trying to survive. They're trying to get to point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's, it's like real fighting. The airport scene was basically they're all
They're letting
pulling
everybody
their,
show off.
They're all pulling their punches because it's not serious.
Yeah.
Well, even Wanda says at that point, that one point, she's like, "You were pulling your punches."
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
'cause
So we're still
Hawkeye's-
friends after this. It depends how hard you hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're pulling your
See,
punches.
I just really like.
But that makes sense though, because those
It
two
does.
have.
Well, and and I've seen the things about like when Spider-Man catches Bucky's hand. He's
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, you have a metal arm," and like they're like, "Oh, Bucky had a whole other free hand, but he doesn't hit him because he realizes he's a child."
Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
He was stunned by the whole fact that he was fascinated in the moment of a fight that it wasn't. I've thought about it and I was like, okay, well, he's stopping his arm, right? I was like, that first of all goes, what the fuck? This fucking dude's just stopped my arm and he's like a twig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then second goes, he's also talking and
Yeah.
saying, oh, it's a metal arm. That's so cool. And then, like the whole kid thing.
Yeah. He definitely looks at him like,
What the fuck? This
he
isn't right.
realizes you're a child.
Yeah, this isn't right.
See, so I get why you say filler, but there's still
It's a
emotion
fun
behind it. There's realization,
Yeah.
the pulling punches.
It's a fun
But it's
scene.
not
Don't get me
all
wrong.
makes
it's not
sense.
it's not what I would call a survival moment. The fights aren't
No.
to destroy or to alleviate or to continue to survive. This is an obstacle that's in the way and you don't want to hurt them, so you just got to do what you got to do to move on. Because that's all Captain America's
Okay.
deal is I'm not worried about you fuckers.
Yeah.
You were just in my way to go to a
Yeah.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
This
They
point is to
show that.
incapacitate. It's not
Yeah.
to
But
harm. or
as
anything like that.
drastic and as
Well, then
as
I'm glad they made it
monumental-
as funny as they did then.
yeah, and as monumental as they tried to make this, because
Mhm.
this was like halfway point, and this was like the big showdown,
Yeah.
almost like
And
the
they-
big. Like,
This was
as
the
I-
big thing from the trailer, so they had to make it good enough. To
And
like,
I think they might have felt obligated to have a big fight like this with many comic book characters because the Civil War comic books had like every fucking
Yep.
character in the
everybody's
world.
in on that.
I have.
This was
I have
like
the Wolverine one.
This was like a huge.
What does Wolverine have to do with any of that
Remember-
shit?
Exactly. Remember back in the day, like people would gripe about these movies, like this movie has nothing to do with the comic or whatever.
Yep.
This was one of those where it kind of came back after 8 years of these movies coming out. They were like,
Well,
Civil War. What the fuck? There's no way they'll do that right because there's too many characters that can't do it right.
and they didn't.
So
because they completely
didn't,
changed. They changed the story, but that's okay.
They didn't, but it's still a good movie, still a good story, written well.
yeah.
So
they took the idea.
the
and
airport
they did
scene
it,
is
they did it well.
is an attempt to like appease.
yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and,
For sure.
and absolutely. And this is their closest thing to justifying to the comics. Because in the
Yes.
comics, in the Civil War comics, what happens is there's a kid. I know we kind of briefly talked about it, and we're not trying to compare it to the
Yes.
comics.
Yeah,
we're just trying to make a point about how drastic that they did. But in the comics, there was a kid that got injured by a superpower.
Mhm.
I think it was like an X-Men too. It was like the X-Men universe, not even an Avenger.
Right.
It was like the
Oh,
X-Men
interesting. Okay.
universe. Some mutant who his power went off and killed an innocent person.
Yep.
And I think it was even a small little scuffle or something of that nature too in like a school.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, the point is it blew up. Then in the actual Civil War battle, it's all of them.
Yep.
They chose sides. It's like every fucking comic book superhero out there.
Yep.
And this gigantic man who dies. He doesn't get injured. He dies. He literally dies. And that's what Rhodey took in.
Okay.
So Rhodey replaced him. Not a good replacement
Right.
at all. Not like we know
Very
who the fuck
mitigated.
gigantic man is, but that's
Yeah.
not the point.
Yeah.
It's the point that nobody died.
Right.
It's the civilians who died. So they used the concept and they just kind of ran with it. It's fine.
Yeah. it
That's
is.
not the point. We're not comparing.
Yeah.
It has to do
as
with
a movie, it's well done.
yeah, as a
Yeah.
movie, well done. But we're dealing with that scene where once again it was everybody in the comics, all the superheroes, they chose a
Yeah.
side.
That we know. of
Captain
in the
versus Iron
movies.
Man, whatever the case is, and then they clash together.
Yeah.
And this is that scene where they tried to, like you're saying,
Yeah.
do justice to the comic,
So
kind of
uh,
like their comic book blip. Here it is, it's right there, guys. Here,
See, we did the thing.
big circle.
yep.
Yep,
We
they're-
made you laugh. We
They're
had
literally
some
going John
fights.
Madden on this, and they did go to here, and then they go to here, and
But
the circle
then,
to here, and it carries the
27
ball over here, and
Are you guys happy that Black Widow let Captain America go?
well, yeah, I was on Black Widow's side basically since the first bit.
I thought that was the right choice for
Like
some weird
I will
reason.
admit, like I can't say if you would have asked me when I first watched this, I have no fucking idea. I don't think I
Yeah.
looked that in depth. But after
Yeah.
rewatching this, and like I said, I was diving into this world, and I was like, fuck. Even afterwards, I was like fucking researching a bunch of shit, just seeing what other people had to say, because I was like, why did I not like this as much before?
Right?
Yeah.
And Black Widow she's just the one. She wasn't.
She's the true moral compass of this movie.
Yeah.
She was the one who saw the big picture. It's as simple as that. She realized that if she fights it, she's gonna lose them, and if she doesn't fight hard enough, they're not gonna win.
Yeah.
It's-
There's
or,
no middle ground on this one.
Or
Like,
well, I should say, if they fight, she's not gonna win. But if she doesn't fight hard enough, she's gonna lose them. Her whole goal is
whole-
this is her family.
that whole conversation with Tony after the fight
Yeah,
at the
that
airport,
makes
she's
sense.
like,
'cause it's a-
Goddamn ego aside.
Cap,
This
Cap,
is-
Cap wasn't gonna stop. So like, and she's like, and you weren't gonna stop either. Like we had to fight. If we keep fighting,
Fucking
we're
Rams.
if we keep fighting, we're gonna destroy ourselves.
Yep.
And for Black Widow to take this thinking this position makes so much sense because she came from the Black Widow organization. She grew
Yep.
up with no family. Her family was fake. So this is like her first emotional connection on a real level. So for her to go to the funeral in the beginning of the movie
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, just just so you know, we're technically enemies now." And he's like, "Why are you here?" "I didn't want you to be alone." Was her
Yeah.
response. I was like, "Damn."
Yeah,
So and then I don't know, all the choices she made.
because she loves him.
Yeah.
This
And
is it. Like you said,
and all
this is
these
her family.
emotions are new to her, and she knows
Yeah.
that it's not bullshit. So
That-
she's not half-assing it.
And what did we see in the last film?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What did we see in Age of Ultron? We made fun of this.
Yeah.
But this is why. We're starting to see why.
Yep.
This was it. This is actually one of those things where I look retrospectively, I look back and going, okay, we were
Yep.
being a little bit of a dick.
Yep.
We were being a little dickish right there.
Yeah.
It's her new feelings.
Yep.
We even did this in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, yeah, okay. Okay.
So
we
this-
were being real big dicks.
Yep.
We're just hating on
in hindsight,
black-
she did not fall flat. She
Nope.
was
she's adjusting.
she's
She's
perfect.
adjusting. I
Yep.
did say adaptation too
Yeah.
when we were talking about it, but not in the same context that we're seeing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
wasn't what I was going for. I'm just saying, oh, she's got to adapt to her situation of her new life, kind of thing.
Right.
But we see it now. We get it
The beauty
This
of the
is her family.
connectivity of these
Yes.
movies.
because even then she's like, she became like what? Before we go any further, because this is gonna say, who do we meet? Who's the new people that we get introduced?
Black Panther.
That's one,
Spider-Man.
and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the two
May.
major,
That's good.
two major people that are introduced
Yes.
into this film, and they're big
And
hitters
Zima.
too.
Might as well say Zima.
Well,
Zemo.
'Cause
Zemo is a
yeah.
malt liquor.
Zemo is the villain, but we'll talk about him in a little bit because
Word.
I got some shit to say about that
I
guy.
just wanted to put him in the introduction. thing.
But we only get him. We do get him again, but that's it. After that, so far we don't. We
well,
don't
he
get to see
doesn't
him.
die in the show, does he?
I don't think so.
I don't
But I'm
think
saying
he
that's,
does.
that's
He
as
gets-
far
he gets
like I
arrested
said,
again in the show.
as far as
He'll
like
be
no, we don't.
back. He was too
Maybe.
good not to be back.
Maybe. But but Zemo is he's the villain. He's the main
Breathe
villain.
fire at the
If you want
moment.
to look at it overall, it's like
Anyways,
it's government.
yeah.
That was like the tier of the villainous or whatever. Control.
Government was the
I
Hydra
don't
in
know.
this
I don't know.
motherfucker.
Basically, yeah. Actually, that's a good simile to it. Like
Well, and because Captain America even says when they're talking about being put in check, he's like, these people, like, these things are all run by people, and people have agendas, and
Yeah.
agendas change.
the council when he's talking about
Yeah.
the council or whatever.
Yeah.
They have agendas and agendas. Yeah. And that's just right there. That's like basically saying Hydra was the same way. I think they even mentioned that shit too.
Yeah.
I feel like they mentioned something
Yeah.
about comparing it to Hydra, or they used it.
Well, I know Zemo basically says to
S.H.I.E.L.D.
that one guy, he's like, Hydra should have its chance to be on the pile of ash, or have its ashes on the pile as well.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to take everything out.
Well, if we're just gonna dive right into it, the bad guy, the villain.
Baron Helmet Zemo. I almost called him Zero.
Oh my god! After just criticizing him,
Yep.
what did you think about
It wasn't a great.
the ultimate bad guy?
I think
The villain. The villain. Let's make not bad guy. The villain.
Yeah, the
Bad
guy
guy is a
that's-
very subjective term at this point.
The guy
But-
that's basically coined as the villain of the movie, I thought he was sympathetic, especially when he starts listening to those voicemails.
When you realize, yeah, because you get him once at the mall type thing,
Yep.
and then at the end.
So, here's my view, real quick. After watching the film, I did, like I said, I was diving into some research, what people had to say, and I read this article, quick, brief, little blip of an article about this guy who says that he thought that Zemo was the best villain so far in the comic book
Yeah.
cinematic universe.
I
Up
gi-
to
I
this
gi-
movie.
I'd
Up
give
to this
that.
point.
Exactly.
I would give that because he's the most. He is one that you can't actually, besides his extreme actions, his actual goals
Motivation.
and motivation are actually quite pure.
Yep.
It's the extremes he goes to accomplish them that make him a villain.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his end goals.
Yep.
Yep. Just,
That's what I said at work, but you
Yep.
said it better.
and
Yeah.
when I brought this up to you at work, you fucking ran with it too. And
Yeah.
I just what did I do?
You just shook your head in agreement just like that.
Yup.
Yeah.
So when I read this, I'm like, oh my God, he absolutely. I agreed with what this guy was saying. He basically is saying the reason why that Zemo is the best super villain, or not super villain, but
The best villain, yeah.
is because he has no superpowers. He has no. He's above average. The only reason why he's above average is because he spent time as special agents in the Soviet or whatever the
military,
Sokovia military. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So
they
he's
say.
like special forces basically in that term. So he's above average than the average Joe.
Yeah,
that's about it. But he's basically average Joe, if not below, than any of the extra enhanced super people that he's dealing with. He knew.
Well, he had that line in the movie. I know I can't kill them because many stronger people before me have tried
and failed.
Yeah,
and failed. Yes,
but if I can make them kill each other,
not even kill. I don't even think he used
destroy. I think you might have said destroy or something.
I don't remember. Just whatever the point was is separate them.
Yeah.
Divided they
fall. Yep. And
tagline.
Poster. Stamped.
Nailed it.
And the reason why he's doing this is because he is human. Yeah. He had a family. We heard this story. They were destroyed. They were killed. Avengers just went home. Didn't care about the repercussions.
Yeah. I think that was the best part of that line. It was like the Avengers went home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was.
So he was consumed by rage, which was a great, really like not even a minute conversation he had with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Vengeance. Not even rage. Vengeance.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
they
confused by
seem to go
vengeance.
hand in hand, but like rage, not necessarily. He was calculating.
Yeah, rage is Iron Man in a minute.
That's true. Yeah.
During this conversation.
Yep. Yeah. And that was a beautiful moment because
it really was.
Not only did it answer, like it was just like a conclusion of it was epiphany. It was an epiphany thing.
It was a twist.
But it was also like Black Panther going, I'm done. This is like his moment where he realized
he was
at that moment. He's like,
wrong.
I'm done. Like he's saying it as it's happening. I'm done letting vengeance or rage consume me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh my God, you just fucking like that. Like,
I did love that line at the end when like Zemo tries to shoot himself and he knocks him
out.
out.
I forgot about that.
He says the living aren't done with you yet.
Yeah.
I love Black Panther's dialogue in this entire film.
Limited as it was. It was very good.
I love it. But I want to talk about that a little bit in a moment.
Yeah.
So he's just an average Joe who lost everything and has had the motivation and determination. That's all it took. It was motivation, determination, and a little bit of knowledge. He had a little bit of knowledge to be able to get what he needed.
He knew where to find the book.
He got one key fact, and he said, "I can build off of this."
Yep. And what did he?
Yeah.
Yep. And what did he do? He fucking tore down Rome.
Yeah.
Just in a moment.
Black Panther says, "Oh, you lost." He's like, "But did I?"
Yes. Yeah. And that was what I want to bring up is he succeeded in doing what he wanted to do. Even at the very end of the movie, you think, "Oh, the bad guy's done. He lost." Fuck no.
No.
He separated the Avengers. We do not have the Avengers again until the end of
Thanos.
Yep, until Thanos. And even then it's a whole other realm.
Yeah.
So we're gonna deal with that later. But he won. And that's what makes him. He succeeded. An average
even in the
Joe.
face of being caught beforehand, like because when Tony comes out of the helicopter and he tells Thunderbolt Ross, like, "Oh, you need to get an APB or whatever out for this guy." He's like, "I'm not think I'm going to listen to you after that airport debacle. Like, you should be in one of these cells too." Is exactly what Cap said was going to happen.
Yep.
Is coming full circle.
And that's the other fucking thing about Tony Stark is he just doesn't fucking learn until it's too late.
Until it's too late.
But I will say there was that bit of growth where he's like, when he's talking to Cap and trying to get him a second time to sign the Accords, he talks about the fact that he had to clean up his own messes. Like, a couple times he's like, I screwed up. I needed help.
Yeah.
He's able to recognize, granted it's, hindsight, and hindsight is always 20/20.
Too late.
But he's able to at least admit, I screwed up.
I don't think that's ever been the problem that I don't think any of us have had a problem understanding or seeing that Tony is not afraid to admit that he's fucked up. He just keeps fucking up.
Yeah, he keeps fucking up.
And we had talked about it's not mistakes for him; they're errors. Mm-hmm. There's an entirely different concept when you look at mistakes to errors. There's a whole definition difference. An error is something that just occurs that can be fixed. Mistakes, on the other hand, have to
cause
be
all sorts of problems.
Yeah, well, if you make a mistake, they're tragic tragic or whatever consequences that occur. You know, if you make a mistake, someone can die. An error, on the other hand, is not quite the same.
Yeah.
So you're dealing. We mentioned this. He's like he's an engineer or scientist or
He
whatever.
deals with
looks at
everything in
errors.
equations.
Yep. He looks at errors. As the issue,
Everything's
not
an
mistakes.
equation to figure out, and if he makes an error, he just
Yep.
goes back
Captain
and like
America, on the
Yeah.
other hand, they're mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's all we see in this fucking film was them basically trying to eradicate their mistakes or their errors or whatever, trying to make up. And what's it causing? What's it doing? It's causing more conflicts. What did Vision say?
Oh, that fucking catastrophe shit.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That was an on point.
Yeah.
It was a foreshadowing,
Yep.
Yeah.
but
When he said at
Nobody
the
listened.
airport, went to Wanda or no,
Yeah.
it's Black Widow maybe or some shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He was
said
like,
something
what,
catastrophe,
as
yeah.
I say, or as I said before, catastrophe. I was
Yep.
like, ooh.
oh, that's got to be to Wanda. Wanda, because I don't think he actually talks to Black Widow at the airport.
I don't remember
Yeah, I
who
think
we said it to, but
he talked. I think he ends up fighting.
Oh,
he was fighting like everybody.
right. Yeah. He
But
was
what
all-
was it that Vision said when he said that?
I can't remember
Because they were arguing about it, and then he straight out said, "I have a thought."
You want the whole speech? Because he's like, this leads to this, that
Do you
leads
know
to
what it
this. No, but the conclusion is
So-
catastrophe.
Again, he views it as an equation. He does the math.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, what he was saying
And it's
was that
really well
since,
said.
since 8 years ago, because I for the
Yep.
most part, this is
No.
pretty close. I
That
think
8 years was in
8
the
years
line.
ago is when
dialogue.
when Tony Stark came out as Iron Man.
Oh, and then
Iron Man
people-
then allowed other people with enhanced abilities to come out forefront.
What did he call
And because of
causality?
Causality, but
yeah.
that he comes out to saying that with that saying comes conflict,
Mhm.
and with conflict comes causality, and because of
Causality.
causality basically creates catastrophes. Because as long as there's people who will have conflict, there's going to be opposing force.
yeah.
So basically, there's going to be two sides of the spectrum, and
Mhm.
they're going to be clashing. That's
Yeah.
all he's saying.
But the end game of it all is.
Endgame.
Oh my God! Yeah.
yeah. Foreshadowing for 10 films later or 9 films later. This is what that movie is. This movie is a foreshadowing for
Yeah.
9 films later.
It really is.
And this is one
really
without
is,
even
yeah.
any mention of an Infinity Stone anywhere. in that
Anywhere.
fucking
No,
movie.
Because-
other than
Other than Vision talking about it in his
like,
head when
I'm
he's
still
talking to
learning
Wanda.
how to deal with this. I don't even know what it is, but I'm gonna learn it.
This is a point to where all the movies we've seen all take a screeching halt right here, and everything pivots. It's
Yeah.
a pivotal point in
Pivot!
the whole.
Pivot.
Pivot!
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Pivot! Watch our Friends reunion episode to understand what we're talking
So
about.
this movie, they listened to Ross, and everything just went a fucking in a whole different direction than we thought it was going to. And that's another reason why I love the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. And what do you think that the overall message of this story, the moral of this story in this film? Yeah, I had a hard time thinking of this one too.
It's
I want to know what you guys thought.
Don't have emotions.
Don't get so connected.
don't
Disconnect yourself from your friends and family.
attachment issues.
There it is. Don't be a dickhead.
I would think that
Two big
the-
dicks walking in a room don't fit.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think personally speaking, overarching message is, it
Don't piss in the same pot.
DP.
it's all about sticking to your values, really. Like your values, your morals.
And there's
Okay.
no one right answer though.
Yeah, I mean,
Life is too fucked up, complicated.
but
Well-
being able to go past, to do what is right, regardless of what what others tell you. Like it. I told Tim this earlier. Like one of my favorite lines from the comics is in this movie. They kind of butchered it, but there's a part where Sharon's giving her eulogy, and she says, that Peggy told her that your job in this world is to when the mob and the world and the press are all telling you that something wrong is right and telling you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree and say, no, you move. And that's about sticking to what you think is right, what you know is right. I mean, it gets dicey.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I'm saying. There's no
right answer, but
there's no magic bullet.
I feel like that's the overarching theme is like everyone's sticking to what they believe to be the right course of action, and they're not being swayed by other people saying, no, you're wrong. You know, everyone's making the decision for themselves. Like they're not being coerced in any way.
Yeah.
Cap is never coerced into doing it. You know, Stark
But they
is
are
never,
taking the time to listen to each other.
they listen to each other, but they have discussions about it, but they never actually are swayed from it because they know in my heart, this is what's right.
Yeah.
So, if you want to take that moral, doing what you feel is right, then Zemo was in the right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why he's a good villain.
I mean, I agree. Yeah. I mean,
That's-
I'm just
it's
taking
one of his
perspective.
it's one of his most interesting
That's-
things is like he's not again his goals and what he wants done isn't
Yeah,
exactly
Aaron
wrong.
already said the only
It's his actions and the extremes he goes to accomplish those goals are what
he
make him a
killed
villain.
one person,
What's-
right? The therapist. Two.
What's the difference, though, between him and the Avengers?
Oh, it's a morally like gray space there. Like some people would say that he's in the right. Some people say he's in the wrong.
He deliberately killed 2 people to get where he's at, that we know of at least.
Yeah.
But the Avengers did what? They killed millions of people or thousands of people. I would say millions. Who knows? New York, I don't know. There's a lot of people that fucking
Okay.
died.
And again, that is a okay.
But
I don't think there's the point. in
you
this argument.
look at the Avengers saying it's for the greater good. But couldn't you say that if Zemo was to destroy the Avengers and they weren't to do anymore, then it would also be for the greater good because not as many people would die.
See, that's the whole fucking
But you're getting into
argument
like what
of this
ifs,
movie.
which is
But that was his whole point.
Yeah.
That was his whole goal. It had nothing to do with like, I mean, there was a little bit of satisfactory saying, hey, I've destroyed this massive band. I broke up the band.
Yeah.
He was playing,
I got my revenge.
Yeah.
Yoko Ono.
No, that's Bucky. Bucky was Yoko.
Very much
He was straight
so.
up Yoko. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that was basically his whole point. He had nothing to lose, but his whole point was that there's less casualties. And casualties is a very finicky word
Yeah.
because it only favors in a sense of when you're doing something that's righteously good versus something that's just naturally catastrophic. I don't know, catastrophe of some sort.
And that brings back my
Catastrophic,
earlier
that's
comment is
what I'm
like
trying to find.
the idea of like, well, what happens if we they don't intervene? Between the first Avengers, the second Avengers, if the Avengers aren't there, what happens?
Oh, now you're
I
what if
will give you Ultron wouldn't have happened if Tony hadn't fucking made him in the first place. But the first Avengers movie was none of the Avengers' fault. They stepped in to save people. How many more people would have died had they not stepped in?
But as the video showed, one of the issues was Banner being careless. They released a monster who had no control because the first video we saw, I think, was Banner jumping from a building and all that rubble crushing the camera, whoever had the camera.
Nah.
Now,
Okay.
I've mentioned this before. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but I feel like I had.
because I don't think we have.
But I often go, the amount of damage that they've done.
Yeah.
Yes, to save the world.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I used to
I
make
get
jokes before this. Why you would have to like fill out. You need super insurance in
Yeah.
that world.
Yeah.
If you were.
Yeah. And who the fuck's going to pay that out?
Yeah, no shit.
If you're a superhero, you need to sign up for insurance. If you cause more damage than maybe $100 million, then this is your platinum right here.
And then one thing about Zemo.
Zemo.
He's stuck on Zemo.
Apparently, I
Don't
need
get you a
some
case of-
heartburn.
Get you a
I need
case of
some-
Zima.
Yeah, I need a heartburn in my life.
Get a white Russian.
You know, I'm always.
See what he did there?
Natasha.
Damn, I missed
Okay.
it, but I'll hear it later.
I was just thinking because, Sokovia
I didn't
was
hear
like
what you-
basically Russia.
Yeah, it's over in the Eastern Europe.
Is it even a real place?
No.
I was saying, I don't think it's a real place. I think it was
that's one of the few
fictitious.
that's one of the few places that they made up.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't think it was a real place. I'd never heard of it.
Oh,
other
that's
than this.
Sokovia and Wakanda are both places that don't exist.
What?
Aw.
Wakanda's
I'm
not
99%
real?
positive that Wakanda's
No, they
not
just
real.
haven't come out and told us for real yet.
Right?
They're still hoarding that vibranium.
Ah,
They have that big bubble.
this
Anyway.
smart place. You know, in
Bubble tea.
the past Avengers movies, I'm always bitching about like the team that doesn't get along, they don't communicate well, blah blah blah. That's the main conflict of the movies.
Yep.
I love that how the villain. It's realistic how they turned against each other because that's their history at this point. So it's realistic that he could make them turn against each other
He exploits
because
their
of that
weaknesses.
flaw.
Yeah.
Whether he knew it to that my depth or not.
So why was Black Panther involved? He played a really prominent role, which wasn't
because-
intended either.
Part of the Accords.
Yep.
Was Wakanda was gonna come out of hiding and announce themselves, right?
No, the Wakanda. So
They
in
would
the
never do that.
in the beginning of the
Isn't
movie.
that what
when
the
they're-
fucking
no.
No, when they're in the beginning, when they're in Lagos and
Yeah.
Buenos Aires, there were 11 Wakandan diplomats there to
So
do
basically they're
something,
people.
like on a peacekeeping mission or
Yep.
something like that.
Their people were there.
Yeah, and then they were killed in the explosion.
Yeah.
So Wakanda came forward and like, in order to appease Wakanda because of like what they can give.
As a bureaucratical king,
Yeah.
he had to step forward and basically
Yeah, so
Make a
they basically
statement.
to appease Wakanda, they made these accords to try and show sympathy and I'm trying to think of another word that goes there, but like
well, they're trying to unite.
yeah,
The world is trying to unite against the Avengers, saying, "Hey, this can't happen anymore."
Okay.
So Wakanda stepped in, and basically the king of Wakanda
Mhm.
was taking charge or lead of that
Of the United Front.
that united front.
Yeah.
yeah, because like 11 Wakandans
Yeah,
died in that.
and I
Lagos
also
thing.
feel like it's more
Oh,
of a
okay.
respect thing because of Wakanda. I mean, you're dealing with like two worlds, like a double
Yeah.
coin, because there's the Wakanda side that we do know, and then just the bureaucratical side that the world knows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, it's hard to know where they were really trying to step in,
Does
but
it-
they weren't going to really
It's like
reveal
a-
themselves.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they decide that later on. We'll talk about that when
Okay.
it comes out. But
So
their whole purpose of that, they stay hidden, like they're hidden.
Hidden.
The reason why is because they're their own entity.
yeah. So
They might as well be their own fucking planet.
what's the answer to your question? What's the purpose of Black Panther?
What was my question? Okay.
he so basically
Because I got it wrong.
they're at the like it's a UN like meeting
Yeah.
essentially where they're gonna sign the accords. It's like it's the big event to say that
Yeah.
all these countries are gonna
And-
sign the accords.
And Black Widow was being their liaison or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Liaison
yeah.
for the
I'm bad.
Yeah,
ambassadors or
basically speaking for them.
Yes.
Yep. So
And,
she was
uh,
going to talk and she was going to sign.
Yep.
Because that whole conversation, oh, well, being a bureaucrat really looks good on you kind of thing.
Mhm.
But T'Challa, I think that's how you say his name.
T'Challa?
He at this
Taco
point,
Bell.
he at this point is just a prince. He's not king yet.
Right.
My hat's lost forever.
And so him and his dad are there representing Wakanda, and then a bomb is set off and kills his dad and I assume some more people.
Mm.
Um,
The
And who
beginning
did
of
it?
the movie?
so it's originally leaked that Bucky did it,
Yeah.
but we'll later find out that Zemo basically had prosthetics on, and it was Zemo that did it.
Yeah.
But he basically prompts T'Challa to want to take revenge on Bucky for killing his father. This is all a big ruse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
It's all
tried
weird.
this thing that didn't work out, and then he tried the Tony Stark thing, right? Or was that
No,
part
this
of
was
the
all
plan
one
the
big
entire
plan.
time?
Yep.
Okay.
He laid.
Oh yeah, because he's
groundwork.
like he tricks him. He's like, yeah, there's more of you Buckies out there. I want to light them up or flip that switch, activate them people, and then you guys are fucked because they're stronger
He
than
doesn't
you,
even
Bucky.
say that. It's just.
But
it's
he
just,
does imply that, right?
no,
No,
Bucky
it's-
gives
no.
Bucky
okay,
gives
it's-
all that backstory.
Yeah, like it's not implied.
Okay.
It's
yes,
just
he does fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Yes.
He
So
does.
it's misunderstood
God damn.
by an implication that we expect
This
because
guy-
it was given that way.
Yeah.
Zemo's
It was
so
all a
fucking-
rouge.
Zemo
Zemo's
gives-
so fucking smart.
Zemo gives zero information, and so people are just inferring what he wants.
They're filling in their own. They're
Yeah.
they're filling in their
Yeah.
own what they want to believe. Yep, which is
Yeah.
what
Because-
Tony Stark does best.
Right. It's all about, definitely, because he has the red book, Bucky even fills in like, oh, there were I wasn't the only super soldier. And that's why he killed Stark's parents, because they had the serum. Like,
Yep.
that's where he gets the fucking baggies. I can't remember what they're called.
Pulled over by a cop. How
and
would you
then-
explain that? Well, that's nothing. It's just drugs.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Literally drugs. I
He
mean,
worked for
They
Stark.
look like
I
ice
think
packs.
Stark worked for the government, so I think he probably
yeah,
had some sort of.
I'm sure he had some kind of clearance. Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's a billionaire.
Oh yeah, he would have got.
Money
He would
solves
have got
everything.
released. Did we finish our points? On,
No.
Well, we talked
Black
about why
Panther?
T'Challa. We talked about why T'Challa was such a prominent figure.
Mhm.
It basically,
Mhm.
And it's a setup for
Zemo's-
Black Panther.
Zemo incites T'Challa to want to take revenge
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And they even say it took the Avengers couldn't find him in 7 years. Like, well, he hadn't blown up the UN.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah.
all of a sudden the world is looking for it. That happens to open a few eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah,
like
that-
and once again, the fucking writing
Yes.
Yeah.
is superb. There's not a fucking plot hole I could find.
Yeah.
Not that I was
No.
paying that close attention like I was looking for him, but
You got to watch it 2 more times.
maybe because oh my
In a row.
god, man, it was phenomenally well written.
Yeah.
Like not only the dialogue too. Like you're a big dialogue guy.
Mhm.
I love dialogue to a point, but like you kind of stick to the dialogue. And
Yeah.
what would you say about it, man?
It's top notch.
It is fucking top notch.
It's yeah.
Like like I said this earlier. Like I love, the Black Panther's dialogue, or I should say, T'Challa's.
and it's
fucking-
not like a top notch, like poetically clever or anything, but it's like logically in your face.
It's focused and pinpoint.
Yeah. Yes.
But it
Like-
is still poetic.
Yeah.
Like
when
that
it
last
comes
scene.
to the debates.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The way he says
Well,
it
the-
has a certain
underlining.
essence to it that has a very
Oh.
poetic, intelligent.
Are you
poetic-
talking about T'Challa?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm talking about
yes.
the Black Panther.
I
Yep.
feel
Yes.
like one of the best lines
He-
is when they're in the
It
van.
could just be his accent, but yeah.
Could be.
Well, like Aram
Right.
said though, is that whole like the last scene when he was holding his,
Yeah, yes.
Zemo.
Yeah. The living aren't done with you yet.
Yes.
That's fucking
That's-
poetic
that
as
is
shit. That's some
poetic.
Hamlet shit right
That
there.
is poetic, yeah.
Like,
But I think a much more simpler line, but just as poignant and just as heavy, is when they're in the van and he looks at Captain America. He's like, one warrior to another. How long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me?
yeah.
yeah, it's not a question.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's a question. It's
It's
a
a
matter
rhetorical
of,
question.
It's rhetorical. It's a
Yeah.
matter of factly.
Yeah.
I'm getting him. How but
It's like how
I'm
how
gonna
good-
get him. It's a matter of how long it takes.
Yeah.
That's
how
what
good-
it is.
It's like how good of a warrior do you think you are? You don't know me very well.
oh, speaking of warriors, when Black Widow is standing there when they're about to go to the car, right, and he has his little female bodyguard.
Yeah.
The warriors
Move or be moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just looks at her with that smile, is like as entertaining as that would be. My first thought is like that woman would fuck Natasha up. I've seen that movie. They will fuck her up.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
just was
Natasha's
like,
a
oh,
spy,
man.
I mean worrier. She can fight, but she's not a warrior.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
That's an
true.
entirely different.
Oh yeah,
Well,
watching her try to
God.
defend herself against Bucky I was scared for
Yeah.
her. She was scared. Like, do you even recognize me?
Yeah, right. What was that?
Holy shit! I've never seen her scared. Oh, I guess the Hulk, but yeah.
Which is rightful, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
no fighting the Hulk off. It's
Right,
if you're just
but-
like a one person.
I feel like you were gonna say something.
You
you
were mentioning about the fight scenes, and I must say that was probably my favorite fight scene was in that little cafe.
Oh, and Sharon and Black
Whatever.
Widow fight Bucky.
Yeah, when everybody goes
Oh.
after Bucky, I'm like, do you realize who you're fucking dealing with?
And he's just like walking through them.
Oh, and
Basically,
then Tony Stark
And the
has
only-
like no armor.
speaking of that, so he's like an addict at this point.
Yeah.
So he's trying to separate himself because he mentioned him and Pebble Woman, fucking Gloop
Pepper?
Woman, Pepper.
Pebble.
I just
That's the dog
I don't
from
like
the
her.
Flintstones.
that's who I think of.
Gobbledygook.
Goop.
Mm.
Goop Woman was. They're separated.
They're taking a break.
They're taking a break.
Oh
Separated.
yeah, I forgot about that.
So he's the basic reason, like he even admitted, oh, I'm a handful as it is.
Yeah.
Finally admits it. We said that from fucking day one.
Well, he said it seriously for the first time. 'Cause
Yeah.
Other times he was just.
But and this is Stark being selfish. He talks about the Sokovia Accords being a way to split the difference.
yeah.
Because he didn't want to stop being Iron Man,
Nope.
but he wanted to keep her. So he's like, I figured the Sokovia Accords would be a way to split the.
Yeah.
So that
yeah,
helps
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah, yeah.
personally?
Yep,
Is that what
yep,
you're saying?
Yep.
It was
yep.
there was a personal
what did
agenda
he,
to it.
He said,
It
"Oh,
helps his
I destroyed
relationship.
all my suits." He didn't fucking destroy his suits. He has them
No.
hiding all over.
Yeah.
He has a stash everywhere.
sticks his finger in a helicopter.
Yeah, he stashes it in a helicopter. He stashed
He
his
finger
fucking
bangs his
watch.
helicopter.
He stashed it in his watch, his helicopter. I mean, his fucking car, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what my point is he's an addict.
Yeah.
He can't separate
He's
himself.
too scared to quit.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's the thing from Ultron. Like he's like, I can't, like I have to be able to, I can't stop everything out there. I picture the world in like a giant suit of its own.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it boils
He
down
wants
to.
a safety net around the
yeah.
world. The
He
globe.
wants a safety net around the world. That's exactly,
doesn't-
and he
yeah.
wants to be the one that made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob
He
is
wants his
the
name
glory.
all over that.
Yeah.
So people know he did it.
Yeah.
It's very selfish.
Oh
very
my God.
selfish.
Yeah, it is.
He's a terribly selfish character,
I-
especially
Yeah.
in the movies.
Until we started talking about these movies, I've never looked at him that
Me
way.
neither. I
Like,
always
this is
knew
like
he
a
was an
huge-
arrogant
yeah,
fuck, and I was like,
arrogant.
I
Absolutely.
kind of like it the way he does it.
But now,
But now I'm like, maybe you deserve something to happen
right?
to you.
He's my least favorite character. And I used to love Iron Man, and now we've put a damper on that. We put a hold.
Yeah.
He's so
Realize
selfish.
what a piece of shit he was.
Yeah, basically. I've never really looked at it
He's
that
the
way.
cause of a lot
Yep.
of shit.
But
Yeah.
now, why do you think Thor is not in this?
Contract won't allow. The line wouldn't have been delivered so well.
I don't know.
Do
He
you
has some
know-
pretty
do
good
you know where
lines.
Thor and Banner are right now? Because if I were to
Yeah, in
lose-
Australia.
if I were to lose 30 nuclear weapons, I would have to face consequences. That's the line I'm talking about. William Hurt.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, they're comparing them to the 30 nukes. But we know where they are. They're in Australia.
Why?
Because
That's where they were last eating.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah, they were.
Hey, T-Bone.
No, they're not in Australia.
He
What
doesn't
the
know how
fuck?
to get a hold of you.
Why are you saying this to me? Banner's in the he's on his way to Jeff Goldblum right now.
No, he's not.
Why? What am I missing?
Did you not watch the one shot?
There's not a one shot. There's a one
one-
shot.
there's
I didn't
one shot
know.
at-
Oh.
Motherfucker.
Oh.
Oh, you missed Team Thor Part 1.
Yeah.
God.
Team Thor Part 1.
All right.
Well, that just fucking ruined
Failure.
everything.
Did we talk about it this episode, or
Nah,
you guys
this
want
just
to school
canceled
me?
the episode.
Or should we
Done. We're took a
didn't even-
nap and he fucked everything up.
post credit scenes?
What was the post credit scene?
Fuck, I forgot.
The last one is Spider-Man
Oh, yeah.
teaser, and
It's basically he's sitting in his room. Aunt May comes in.
first,
He's got a black guy pulling a whole like, oh, you should have seen the other guy. He was much bigger.
yeah.
And then she's like, okay,
And the
tough
joke
guy.
is Ant-Man got really fucking big.
yeah, yep. And then you see that he's got his Spidey
His new Iron.
wrist.
His new
whatever.
web swinger,
Yeah.
web shooters.
and that it has Friday, I think.
Yeah.
Or,
I think Friday, which is Tony Stark's new
That's
what we
AI,
call Jarvis.
AI, yeah. So I think now Friday is attached to the Spider-Man.
Yeah, and
suit.
he just names her something else.
maybe.
Yeah, remember
thought-
when he's locked in that thing in Homecoming?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
'cause I don't remember.
The first credit scene though.
That one is when they freeze Bucky.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's in
Basically
Wakanda,
saying,
right?
Yep, they're in Wakanda. So Black Panther, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about this character is first of all, Chadwick Boseman.
Boseman.
Boseman?
Yeah,
Boseman. I think it's Boseman.
Boseman.
Yeah. R.I.P. God rest his soul kind of thing. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about the Black Panther movie, but
I can't wait for him to watch it.
this is the first time we get to
Yeah,
to
should do
see
that
him.
too.
And he
You're gonna have to.
I loved it because did you notice every time he walks in a room, he has the mannerisms of like the panther. He walks in there, his eyes are always on them until they meet eye contact and he looks away. And then he comes back. He's stalking him. Every time he walks in a room and he
Interesting.
sees somebody.
Did not notice that.
Yeah, he stalks
neither.
them. He's walking quietly, casually, and he's just coming in so smooth. There's no jerkiness. There's no whatever. Not even a sense of urgency. It's just a smooth pace. And one of the scenes is this last scene where you see Steve Rogers looking into like the Wakanda thing.
Yeah.
He walks in. He's staring at Rogers from behind, and right up until Roger turns, and then he turns his face and turns back to him. It's like a stalking moment with
I thought it
Panthers,
was like
Panthers do.
autism.
Yeah.
Autism.
Lack of eye contact.
You know, it's the Panther aspect. And I was like, he does that throughout the film. And I noticed that. And
It's
I'm
a way
just
to
like,
put your prey at ease. Because I mean,
that's what it is.
If they don't think you're looking at them,
sizes-
they assume that, yeah.
That's what it is. And that's exactly what I looked at is like, that motherfucker is acting like he is the fucking hunter and everybody is prey. Because essentially that's exactly it.
He's
He
clocking
is.
everybody until they
Yep.
take notice and he goes, okay.
Yep, he is. He is the bad motherfucker walking in the room. Ain't nobody gonna, and he proves that too in this film. He had his outfit on a couple times. Without his outfit though, he did more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Other than Captain America. Captain America is the only one that really held his own, you know, without but he's enhanced. That's
Didn't
the
see
only
Black
difference.
Panther holding a helicopter.
No, but
Oh,
he's
yeah, the
enhanced.
helicopter shit.
That's my point.
That was
Black
intense.
Panther took on Bucky on his own and did better than any other of those fuckers.
Yeah.
And he has no super abilities. He's just
Got a suit.
skills. He's got skills. Mad skills.
That's
He's got Panther
yeah.
skills. So, anyway, Spider-Man. We didn't talk about Spider-Man. Did we like him?
Yeah.
Was this a good introduction?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I really liked it. I got excited.
The mouthy kid.
Yeah,
Not even mouthy. He's awkward.
he's awkward.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's a nerdy teenager.
He's like 15.
I think
he's supposed
so.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something along those
and he
lines.
fucking he looks like it compared to like the last movie, the newest one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we
It
do
just
get
came
the reference 6 months. He's been Spider-Man for 6 months. since
Right.
Tony
Yep.
Stark. That's something I didn't catch before, and I was like, oh, okay. But we still don't get an understanding because we already know. It's something that we've mentioned about Batman. I don't need to know the origin
Mhm.
stories anymore. We get it. We
Yeah,
understand.
Just give me a time frame of how long he's
Yep.
been doing it.
And
Yeah.
this is one of those things. They did it. We still don't have a fucking origin story because we don't need one.
Yeah.
We get
Everybody
it.
knows what happens.
Everybody
to him.
knows what happens. Bit by a
You
radioactive
get a
spider.
new origin story in this last one that just came out.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
No, it is. It just took 3 movies to get there, and I appreciated it.
So I don't know. Overall, this film,
Phenomenal.
I loved it.
1 out of 5 stars. 1 out of 5 shields.
I'd give it 5. Yeah.
5 shields.
You just hate it when he does silly
I
shit.
really do.
I don't know why you don't like to have fun, but yeah.
I like to have fun, but for
5.
some reason, like he catches me off guard and then I don't know how to react.
Well, speaking of shields,
Autism.
don't look at me.
I
Speaking
thought
of
you were
shields,
pulling him.
did you find the moment of
That's what he said
shield?
last time. Autism.
Did you find the moment of Captain Shield dropping
Powerful? No, I thought it was appropriate.
It made sense, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
appropriate because it once again it was a selfish remark. It was Tony Stark being
Yeah.
petty.
It was my
My
dad's. My
yeah.
dad,
My dad
made
made
it.
that. You don't deserve to wield it.
Yeah.
He's the only fucking person that
So
deserves
good
the shield.
point. Good point.
It's
It was
petty.
more like, fine, if this will make you let this shit go or deal with your shit a little better, I'll drop the shield for you.
This is what you need. Fine.
Yeah.
It was
He did yeah.
it was Tony having he lost the
Yes.
battle, but it was Tony having the last word.
Yeah.
But really, Captain America dropping the shield was the last word.
Right.
Yeah. He dropped the shield and kept walking.
Yep, that was without saying a fucking thing. Said everything.
And I
Said I don't need the shield. We
Yeah.
saw that in the second film to begin with,
Right.
the Winter Soldier. It's like I thought you were more than the shield. Take the helmet off. Let's find out.
Right.
Because he is. It's not the shield that defines. It's a tool. That's all it is.
I like the Black Panther claws in the shield. It shows how strong the motherfucker is.
Well, it's vibranium around
Oh,
vibranium.
yeah,
so-
vibranium.
They're the same metal, so it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
not going to do anything different.
So we had mentioned we were talking about this in the Winter Soldier, so I want to bring this up because I did a little bit of research about Winter Soldier's arm, and we were wondering what it was made out of.
Yeah.
What did you guys say? Dude, I think we had talked about was it made out of vibranium or was it made out
I
of?
thought it was, but it can't be until later, right?
It is yes, and that's exactly it. It is not vibranium. It gets turned into vibranium.
Yeah, when it becomes
Yeah.
the white
Later.
something.
the White Wolf.
Wolf.
Now
Hey,
He is.
You
It's
guys
just
are saying-
titanium. It's cybernetic titanium.
okay.
So he's got actuators, I think is the
Yeah,
term,
it's
like
cy-
and stuff
yeah,
like that
so
to
it's-
help like
It's
him,
literally
like, catch it when he catches the shield and Winter Soldier. Like that's like it's
It's-
all shit inside the arm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
cybernetic titanium. Now at this point, titanium is the strongest metal, other
Mhm.
than
That's known.
adamantium, which is indestructible.
Yeah.
And then vibranium is like the most resistant.
Yeah.
So we have two types of fictional. But titanium in the real world is the strongest metal that we have.
Yeah.
I think, as far as I know.
Yeah,
I
at
could be
least
wrong because I
think
don't
that's
follow
right.
up on science. That's why it's as durable as it is, and whatever. But it still got ripped off.
Yeah.
It still got destroyed, and that's why it
It-
wouldn't be
it
if it
couldn't
was
have been.
vibranium. It
No.
wouldn't have been. If it was adamantium, it wouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the fact that it's titanium and it gets turned into vibranium later.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have taken his arm off still, but you would have had to take a lot more of his body.
So,
do you
Like instead of shooting the arm off, they'd have to shoot the whole shoulder.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I say, they'd have to take more of his body.
Well, that's something else. Is like this isn't detachable at this point.
Right.
This is his. Like,
Yeah.
This
It's
is
his
a part
legit
of,
arm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I for whatever reason, and I think it's just because it's been a while, and I've never really pieced that together. Later on we get to see that it's detachable. I thought that was a legit thing.
Yeah.
No, it's a Wakanda thing, and that's
Yeah,
where that
that's 'cause
vibranium
they're smart.
fucking yeah, because they're smart.
Because they're smart.
So, and I'm
They're really
not.
smart. You haven't seen Black Panther yet. You don't know how smart they are, Aram.
You're right.
5 shields.
You're right. You're right.
I give it
I
fucking
put you in my place.
5 shields, 2 hammers.
No hammers in this movie.
That's because it only takes 2 hammers to make 5 shields.
Tango and cash.
What?
I got it. And it works.
I mean, I got Tango and Cash, but like,
it works.
where did you jump in from Tango and Cash for what he was saying?
2. It takes 2 to tango.
We didn't really answer about the Thor thing
God
though.
damn it.
You haven't.
My,
paid for a
so the
prostitute.
reason, here's my thought on it. The reason why Thor wasn't in there isn't just because of contract. If you want to look at, what if kind of thing, is because Thor would have easily fucked and stopped all of
Well, yeah,
this.
he'd have shut that whole shit
Yep.
down no matter what.
All it would take the only one that would have resisted is Vision. He's the only one I think would have resisted and be
Oh,
able
wow,
to
yeah.
okay.
Vision and him would have had to actually slug
Yeah.
it out.
But who do you think he would have? What side do you think he would have been on?
I don't know. Does he say it in
That's-
future movies?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because even in the one shot, he's playing both sides.
Yeah, he's trying to
He's trying to get an
somebody
email.
to call him up.
Yeah, it's like, why
Um,
didn't you think about me?
I think on a moral standpoint, I feel like he would have, at least in his own ego, probably wouldn't have let people put a limit on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he would probably, in that respect, stand with Captain America. But there's parts of me that thinks he might have sided with Stark at the same time. I'm torn on that.
I don't
one. That's
know.
a hard question to ask.
Right?
And that might
Maybe
be
he
why
would
they
just-
didn't write him into the movies.
And I
'cause
think that's exactly-
morally
Maybe he
gray
would have
area.
been like, I don't know. This is Earth problems.
Yeah,
It could be.
This
This
is
has
below
nothing
me.
to do with Asgard.
Yeah.
this is below me. I got bigger things.
Is
to
Loki
deal
here?
with.
No? Okay, I'm leaving.
I'm going home. I got to get
yeah,
the scepter
that is
again.
a
I
good
thought
question.
we're done with that.
And that's
Uh,
probably why it wasn't written in. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
and I agree. And I think that
He's
honestly,
the truly morally gray area, like, I think.
because I think he would
He's
have.
outside looking in.
He would have. I feel like he would have gone more on the Captain America side, but I also think that he would have been true and going, "Hey, there's consequences to our actions."
Yeah.
Because he is that kind of guy.
But he would have
He would-
chafed at the idea of being put under someone
Yeah.
else's
No,
control.
you would not. He would not have
Yeah.
done. No. There may be a chain command, and there may be this, and I
Yeah, he's
do
not-
think you're right. I think his ego, appropriately too. There's an
Yeah.
appropriate purpose to his ego. Go, no, I am better than this. Go fuck off, you ant.
Or not even better. Just like, I don't know.
We're going to put you in the
Stronger.
raft.
I'm from another planet.
Try.
I don't need to fucking.
Well, and that's a whole Ross thing. He said Thunderbolt Ross was like, oh, well, if I misplaced 2, megaton missiles,
Yeah.
there'd be consequences. First of all, you would never control Thor.
Right.
Thor's gonna do what the fuck he wants to do because he's a goddamn god. That's what Tony Stark said, I think, in the previous one. One of the films.
Yeah.
Second of all, Hulk, Banner, unpredictable.
Yeah.
Uncontrollable. What do you think you
Too
can fucking
fucking strong.
control him?
I was like, there's no way they keep either of those two in the raft.
No.
The second
Which-
they want out, they're out.
Yeah.
They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, which is why I think they wrote him out.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
Is
smart
because
move.
it's a smart move because who the fuck they ain't gonna be able to do that.
And to answer
Too
those
powerful.
questions on top of all these other questions that are in the movie,
You have to.
oh hell
you
no,
have to
that was way
believe-
too complicated.
Yeah.
You have to believe that in the writers' room they had Thor and Hulk at one point, and then they went,
Mm-hmm.
"We can't fucking do this."
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm like, oh my God. They probably were like, oh, and then they eliminated go,
Ah.
God,
Oh, it's all easier now.
it's so bright out here. The one shot though.
Yeah.
The one shot.
Team Daryl.
Team Daryl.
Or
So what
Team
was
Thor,
it?
sorry.
Team Thor Part 1.
So we find out that Thor took some time off after Age of
Took
Ultron
a sabbatical.
and went to
Australia.
Australia and got a roommate named Daryl, who he hangs out with.
Which is just an average guy.
Yeah, just a guy that works in an office. At one point,
Is it-
we see him like, because neither Stark nor Rogers calls him like during Civil War, and like he walks into the office that
Daryl's working.
Daryl's working in and like makes him email both of them like oh, I'm not doing anything right now if you need my help with anything.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh, I heard that you and Captain America are having some relationship problems.
The part where he's at the school and he's got the drawings, like, who's this purple idiot?
Yeah. Who's this?
Vision.
person?
I'm surprised you knew that.
Yep. So
His murder board of what are Infinity Stones.
yeah,
His drawing of Thanos in the chair is like, he's
a purple
What's-
guy who doesn't like to
he's
stand up.
purple, does not like to stand up.
Yep. And then there's Minyor. Yeah. And then he's like, who's he holding? Oh, that's a me. With sunglasses.
Mjolnir, if he was like a life size or something, or like human size.
Wearing sunglasses.
Nick
Yeah.
Fury, is his last name really Fury, or is it pronounced Fur?
It was good. You should watch it.
I
Oh,
will.
wait, you should have watched it.
And then you can just watch part 2 on it.
You might, yeah, now. Because it is after.
Part 1. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You guys should end this episode. Bye.
That is our
Bye.
wrap. So yes, I think that's all we have to say.
I think we gotta
So
wrap
what
it
are we
up.
watching next, Aram? Oh, Doctor
Ask me these
Strange.
questions. Oh yeah.
So yeah, we get Doctor Strange. There's 9 fucking movies in this goddamn phase.
So much information.
Oh my god, there's so many. So yeah, we get Doctor Strange next, and
Cool.
it'll be Thor
Ragnarok?
one shot.
Oh, Team Thor part
Team
2.
Thor part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2. My mind went to Team Edward, Team Jacob, and I hated it right instantly. So,
Turn to ash.
oh god, tastes like shit. So we will be watching Doctor Strange and then Team Thor Part 2 for next week.
We will also be wrapping up
Our
musicals.
third week for musical, yeah. So stay tuned.
God, I wish that was on
That
microphone.
would have been funny. So stay tuned for next week. So yeah, we'll catch you later.
Peace.
Peace.
Hurt feelings make me laugh.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to check us out. Jason, where can we be heard?
I don't know, Tim. Where can we be
Well,
heard?
let me tell you where we can be heard. You can find us on all the other platforms that you find podcasts, like iTunes and Amazon Music,
All them places you find all your favorite and popular podcasts.
yeah, Spotify.
That's where I listen to podcasts, and nowadays you can rate your podcast on there. Go ahead and give us 5 stars on Spotify or any other platform you listen to your favorite podcast on.
And Spotify.
If you want to watch us, you can find us on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, give it a share, you got a comment, all the algorithm stuff. It helps.
And if you want to comment on how bad and terrible we are doing or how ugly we look, just send us an email at bnbbanterbros@gmail.com.
And that's AND, you said, between the B's?
A-N-D in between the B. You can also check us out on the multiple social platforms that consume everybody's life, like the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter, the TikTokity, and the Instagrammy, including Facebook. So please, come check us out. We'll catch you next time.